are live on Pop Culture Breakdown, and I am here with my panel of pop culture pundits on what has been a very, very, very big week for my channel, folks. Not only is tomorrow my 5-year anniversary on YouTube, and I will be doing a live stream over on Monday to celebrate that, but apparently Disney saw fit to take a shot at me, at your overlord, at Dictor Van Doomcock, on She-Hulk, basically characterizing me as the worst piece of shit in the world. And as a result, it backfired. And what it did is it not only brought me over 3,000 new subscribers on my channel, but it also made me trend on Twitter. That's right, folks. As astonishing as it may be, and I couldn't believe it myself. I was like in Scooby-Doo. I was like, when I saw that. I thought somebody was joking when they sent me a screenshot of me trending on Twitter. Then I checked it myself, and indeed, I was trending on fucking Twitter, which is bizarre. I never expected that in a million fucking years, that a guy named Doomcock lives at the center of the earth looking to conquer it would trend on Twitter. I mean, what is it, a sign of the apocalypse? I don't know. But what a time. Disney, and I don't know, there may be more shots at Doomcock coming, because it's a villain on She-Hulk called Intelligentsia. And I don't know. I mean, I don't think they resolved the Intelligentsia storyline in that one episode. I imagine She-Hulk is going to deal with Intelligentsia, and what? They're going to have She-Hulk cracking my head open or something. It's going to be interesting. But regardless, it has been a hell of a ride. 5 years on YouTube as of tomorrow. And I am surrounded by my panel of pop culture pundits, some of my favorite people in the entire fucking world. We have got Mike, a.k.a. Mexican Iron Man. Hail, Mexican Iron Man. How are you?
Very well, sir. Arriba, arriba. I was afraid you're going to say I got my favorite people here with me tonight, and Mike.
No. Oh, dear. Why the fuck would I do that?
I don't know. What a week it's going to be. What a show we're going to have tonight. Hail everyone in chat. Hail everyone on the panel. Hail the mods. And hail to you, my overlord. It's going to be an interesting show.
It is, because I've already pre-gamed for this show. I'm like, I myself am certified at least 40 proof right now. If you drew my blood, it would be like, if you drank that blood, a vampire would get drunk. He'd fly into a wall or something. It would be bad. And we've got Gary Ambrosia. Hail to Gary Ambrosia. How are you, brother?
I am doing really well. And I'm glad you've been drinking heavily, because it means that we have to all catch up to you.
You got to catch up.
Yes. If you're here for the first time, I say welcome and hail to you out there in Xanadu land. And it is going to be a fun show. Hail to everybody out there. Hail to the wrenches, and hail to that wonderful, beautiful chat. We love you. Get ready for fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Thank you, Gary Ambrosia, the great Gary Ambrosia, and equally great in I'm going to charitably say, salmon shirt. I was going to say it's salmon. Like a masculine salmon leaping upriver to get laid. It's not pink, it's salmon. It's Rancor Steve. This is what a toxic male looks like. Hail, Rancor Steve. How are you?
Oh, yes. How y'all doing? It's good to be back off the ranch and here in the chats with all you guys. Oh, let it all fume in the toxicity, whatever you want to call that word. I'm good to be here, guys.
I didn't know testosterone was pink. I didn't know it had a color, but
it comes in many colors except blue. Oof.
Except blue. Oh my God, what the fuck? I don't know. Anyway, this is what a toxic male looks like. Reminds me of that Foreigner song. I want to know what love is. Well, here it is right here.
Yes.
I want you to show me. No, I thought I did, but never mind. Now I've seen it. It's like, I'm going to go ahead and have a beer or something. Thank you, Toxic Rancor Steve. And we've got a guest on here, John Fez Rendell. You are so fucking suave. Show him the goddamn cigarette holder. There we go. Look at this.
Oh,
he's
that's
like
fancy
Hunter S.
pants.
Thompson. John Fez Rendell. John, good to see you, my friend. How are you?
It's good to be here. Ask me if I'm nervous.
You don't look nervous. You look like you ate a canary and you ate lightning and crap thunder in the language of Rocky, And
That's not nerves. That's just your talent coming out.
That's right. God damn. I love that. I love this cigarette. It's like I said you're so fucking suave, and that was of course a reference from Blue Velvet to to none other than Al on Quantum Leap,
Yeah. And then there's the Betty
Dean
Davis
Stockwell
impression.
Yes, fantastic stuff.
Pizza.
All right, thank you, John and Andy Masterson. Hail, Andy Masterson, the puppet master himself. How are you doing, Andy?
I was doing great until Steve brought up blue, which used to be my favorite color until it described my balls once. That changed everything. But I'm doing good tonight. I'm looking forward to one hell of a show tonight. We've got some great stuff lined up, and I think everybody's going to be rather amazed.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait. It's been a hell of a week for me, and I'm kind of reeling in the years, stowing away the time, gathering up the tears. If you had a lot of mine, Steely Dan. I am Steely Dan right now. I'm all liquored up, folks.
Did you know that Steely Dan was named? The band was named after an adult toy in a catalog.
Yep.
Really? I thought it was named after a character in William Burroughs' Naked Lunch. Am I?
From what I heard, it was the name of a lady's friend. Not Tempest, but the other one.
Really?
Steely Dan. Yeah, that's what I heard. That was on the radio one time.
The dildo. Stowing away. All right, I don't know. I take your word for it, Andy. Thank you, Andy. And I guess Kathleen Kennedy would have to roofie that vibrator to use it just like every other vibrator.
That's why C-3PO's leg is red.
Like, no. It's like, come on, you want it.
Good
it's
Lord.
like, oh dear.
She probably chips her teeth all the time on it.
Just like Eric Estrada, aka Chips. But never mind. Let's go to maybe that's what Chips stood for. It's like, oh no, I hit my tooth again. Douglas Nelson, aka Mr. Nelson. How are you, Mr. Nelson?
Well, just lovely after all that.
I'm rather fucked up. I'm sorry. It's
all right. Here I am at the bottom, like Atlas, holding up everything. See, so everything's fine. So I guess the line in Rings of Power would be, "There's a Steely Dan in me."
Oh dear. Oh dear. It's great to see you all here today. Thank you for joining us. Let's go ahead and I need, the problem, I've tried to go ahead and adjust the volume on, like, put the audio onto these like wonderful videos that Fet for Hire did. But the problem is that all of these videos don't, the whatever shade of MP4 that they won't play well with my After Effects, and so I can't just easily load them. And I keep saying I gotta just play them and capture them and clip them and run them through and put the audio on them to make them lower volume and stuff. And I just never do it because I'm so busy. But anyway, it's time for the breakdown. And issue 1, oddly enough, I am the news. This week, I am the news like Judge Dredd is the law. I am the news. I didn't mean to be. I didn't intend to be. I didn't anticipate being the news. And yet, I am. So, this Friday, I was going ahead, Thursday or Friday, I forget when this happened. It's been a hell of a 36, 48 hours. I was working on a video about House of the Dragon, and I started getting all these messages. It's like, dude, you're in She-Hulk. And I'm like, huh? What? I don't remember, filming She-Hulk. It's possible because I drink heavily, but maybe, I don't know. And I went and looked, and son of a bitch, there was something not as unlike Dictor Van Doomcock on there, and they were casting me as a villain called Intelligentsia, and basically having every cliche about me in the book and about YouTubers in general that are in the fandom menace and so on. And so I did a video asking just, hey, did She-Hulk take a shot at Doomcock? And the consensus answer across the fandom menace seems to be yes. I mean, they've looked at it, they've listened to the voice, what they did to the voice. And there's Doomcock beating up on Hulk there.
Well, he's identifying as female tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, he should wear a bra then.
You should put them in different positions then, Andy.
Oh, no. But, I mean, it's interesting, and I am not somebody, despite being a supervillain hell-bent on conquering the earth, I am not your average megalomaniac. I don't think the world centers around me. So I asked the question. I mean, I put it as a question, and that seems to be the answer. And holy crap! I mean, what does this mean? What the hell does this mean? If Disney is taking shots at a YouTuber such as moi on one of their Disney Plus shows, I think it means that we're getting to them. I mean, I think it means they're hearing us. I think it means that we're winning. But I am not interested in hearing my thoughts on it because I've done a video on it and I've, talked about it on Friday Night Frolics and actually on Midnight's Edge, their live stream that morning. So I just want to go around and see what you guys think. But it's interesting in the time, if they meant it as an insult, if they meant it as something to target me or otherwise impugn me, slander me, it sure as fuck didn't work because all it did is made me stronger. It's like Obi-Wan said to Darth Vader, if you strike me down, I should become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. In that time, I've gained over 3,000 subs. I have trended on Twitter, which is amazing. I never in a million years would have thought that Doomcock would trend on Twitter. It's absolutely bizarre. Somebody sent me a screenshot. Hey, you're trending on Twitter. I said, yeah, very funny. And then I actually went on Twitter to tweet out something about it. And I saw, oh shit, I'm trending on Twitter. And that lasted through the next day. So I'm just going to go around and ask Mexican Iron Man, what do you think about this? Do you think that they were taking a shot at me and the Fandom Menace and all of us vicariously?
I absolutely do. And to me, it's there's no question about it. I know that in the case of Midnight's Edge and my appearances there, which I regard myself as a nobody, not even a YouTuber type of thing. And sure, I produce.
I'm gonna throw shit at you.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I've been asked randomly when I have my accounting and tax hat on, am I that Mike? Am I the same Mike that's the Mexican Iron Man on, say, I was when I was interviewing that Hollywood studio that I'm going to start doing the books for in January. Out of nowhere, we're eating lunch, and I got asked, am I the same one? And then they started talking about things that they watched and shows that they've heard Andre and Tom do. And then the other guy comes in, the guy who's the photo production manager comes in, and he says, hey, this is Mexican Iron Man. He says, oh, the Doomcock guy. And I was like, wow. And I was stunned. I mean, we've never talked about it. This just happened in February.
Wow.
And certainly on Twitter, I've seen Tom, and certainly, I mean, Tom's going to go, going to speak in a minute. I don't want to speak for him, but I mean, I know that from reactions that I've seen that, people know him. And of course, there's the Salty Nerd podcast guys and the fight that, my buddy over there got in with one of the Hollywood producers. And, I have to say that I know for, I was having a call 2 weeks ago with a buddy of mine that went to Stanford with. He's an investment banker. He does funding decisions for a couple portfolio funds. And he was talking about, he asked me, do I watch any YouTube and social media and stuff? And I said, well, I do a little YouTubing. and I guessed on some panels. And he's like, yeah, it seems like the fans are really pissed off. I'm like, well, what do you mean? He's, and he mentioned on Geeks and Gamers and Neurotic and stuff. And we are not just fans and critics of pop culture. People like you, people like Tom, people like Andre, people like all the other people that have channels that call out Hollywood for what it is. I know for a fact that they're paying attention and they're watching, and it fits their profile. They're lazy, they're uncreative, they can't come up with their own villains. So the easiest thing to do is to pick someone and grab someone that's underneath their skin. And we know we know that you are underneath their skin, and that you're not the only one that's underneath their skin. So I don't like how they represent you. I don't like how they're trying to portray who you are and how you are, because I think of everybody, I mean, not to toot my own horn, this isn't for that purpose, but I think I know you as well or better than damn near almost anybody. I've known you a long time. I know you well. And I don't like how they're trying to portray you. But then again, they're consistent with their modus operandi of how they try to portray all of us. And, you're just representative of that. And I think what drives them nuts with you is that they don't know who you are. That my name's on the internet. I'm Mike Knoll. I'm not, I don't care about game docs. My address is on the internet. They don't know who you are. And that must drive them absolutely nuts, because they can't even try to cancel what you're about. So I toast a glass and I say, bring it, Disney, bring it, Marvel. You're this lazy to pick on one of my boys. Okay, well, guess what? The culture war does not end. It begins and gets ratcheted up this weekend. Thank you.
Hail to you, Mexican Iron Man. Thank you, brother. It was a weird thing, man. It was a very weird thing. I was stunned. Gary, what do you think about all this?
Well, honestly, what I think is this is such a reflection of stereotypical toxic masculinity that you would think that they made a show about you and it's all about you. So, really, it just basically states it's exactly the statement that this guy in the pink shirt on the panel here is making a statement. Look at this. This is what toxic male looks like. That shirt really meant something, that shirt is parodying. That shirt is parodying a very nice shirt that I have, and it is salmon, by the way. And it's supposed to say something about feminists, but that one says something about toxic males. So you know what? No, honestly, I think it's hilarious, because if it doesn't really matter what it was about, you got a whole bunch more subscribers, and it totally backfired on them, which I think is fucking hilarious. And it's totally a medal that you should pin onto your uniform. I think it was awesome. I loved watching that scene. I actually watched She-Hulk because of this little incident. I think it's cool, man.
It's weird.
Cheers.
I did not, and it's like not me. I mean, I started getting all these messages from people out of the blue. I mean, I didn't even see it, and it's like,
not just you, because the numbers reflect that. Look at how many more people are showing up and paying attention to you now, which I think is interesting. That says it all right there.
Yeah, it's weird. It's
hilarious is what it is.
I know that I've been in their head for quite a while, but that they would do that is very strange. Rancor Steve, what do you think about all this, my brother?
I think it's hilarious. I've been because I had a friend that texted me. He's like, Doomcock is trending. I was like, no, he's not. What are you talking about? And I actually had to look it up, but I was like, oh shit, he is. How? What? So I actually had to look. I was like, what are you talking about? Trending from what? What did he say? What did he do? And I saw the screenshot of the two people. And my take of it is it's probably loosely kind of taking jabs at you. And they wanted to be like, let's do this like subtly. But then I don't think they found out what the ramifications was going to do, because you pretty much lit it up on everything. You got subscribers on Twitter and YouTube. I was looking, I was like, dude, this guy is gaining a lot of fans right now. And dude, take it as free publicity. It's free like promotion for you. Like, just go with it, man. Run with it and just be like, yeah, it's free money at this point. Like Top Gun, Tom Cruise making money. That's how I think. It's hilarious.
It's amazing. And we've got our special guest, John Fez Rendell here. John, did you notice anything about all this stuff? Do you have anything to say about it?
Yeah, it's it kind of occurs to me it's something like what Kurtzman did to Star Trek, 25% different, or in this case, maybe 35%. But it's definitely a hit on you.
It may well be. That's what I'm thinking. And I understand that we've got Uncle Ethan is in the chat. Ethan Van Sciver, Comic Artist Pro Secrets is in the chat, and Uncle Ethan and I have been exchanging compliments over quite a while. He used to have me on when he was doing, the High Council. And if he would like to come on, I'm having my folks shoot him a link just in case
I just sent him a link on Facebook if it is him and he's free.
So there you go. If it is actually Ethan Van Sciver, he is welcome to come on and say hi. Andy, what did you think about all this stuff, man?
Well, since John has a cigarette holder, I'm going to do the pinkies out thing. I
love it. It's like he's like Hunter S. Thompson. I love it. It's fantastic.
I think it's kind of like that's how they look at all of fandom. And they, personally, I think you really pissed off Disney itself, like when you did the whole Rise of Skywalker plot leak, and they denied, and you were completely right. I think you made a lot of enemies there, and so when this thing came around, I've heard people saying like, "Oh, well, this was written a while ago." Yep, it might have been written a while ago, but this thing has been rewritten how many times? Because like and to think that this is the better version, I mean that's pretty sad if this is the better version of She-Hulk. But yeah, I would not be surprised if I think they're looking at those, the guys in the mask, they said it when they were talking about the Intelligentsia website, which is it's sort of a catch-all for Twitter, YouTube, 4chan, Reddit,
right,
all that stuff. And it's like, oh, those toxic man babies. That's what they think of us. And, they have, this is how stupid they are, because, I mean, look how you blew up because of their little thing. And they're going to be back next episode being more of a bad guy, giving you more of a spotlight. Which is going to bring more people around to find out, hey, you know what? These people really aren't like that. They're actually pretty sensible, kind of funny, down-to-earth people that just have legitimate criticisms about what you've done to these shows. So I think it's going to bite them in the ass pretty good.
I think so. I mean, look, we're not at all like that. We're not at all like that. I said in my video where I did analysis of this that the other reference they did to the fans earlier in She-Hulk, where they had a guy on saying, I don't have anything against, female superheroes. I just wish they'd stop stealing our superheroes, something like that. It's like, and I was like, yeah, well said. I mean, I own that, but I don't own anything that these intelligentsia guys are doing. I've never attacked any actor personally. Never. I have never, leached on to tabloid shit, personal stuff that hasn't any kind of relevance to pop culture. I'm solely fighting to preserve the integrity of our pop culture, because I feel that our pop culture is the equivalent of, the oral tradition in ancient cultures that, handed down stories that were central to the tribe from father to son, from mother to daughter over the ages to keep a continuity of culture in the tribe. And I think our civilization is very similar to that. And if we go ahead and lose our symbols of heroism, our Dharmak moments where, it's all these wonderful tales that resonate and have these moral lessons and stuff, I think that we're losing something precious, the glue that holds us all together, the lingua franca of geekdom. And they're doing it. They're going in there and screwing up these things to alienate us, to segregate us. And I think it's sad. Douglas, what say you about all this? Interject some sanity into all this, my friend.
Well, I think Gary hit it. It's Andy. Well, Gary too. It is hilarious, and also Intelligentsia is a catch-all of all the critics of it. Of course, with the identity of Doomcock and the mask and everything, it's like that. It's more catchy than just some guy who sits in front of his memorabilia or whatever, that kind of thing. Overall, but also I think to the point that Rise of Skywalker probably did put you on their radar. Something like that.
I nailed that, man, and I also nailed Indiana Jones 5. I am
that's right. I know that's another one.
Time that Kathleen Kennedy was really, really pissed.
Just don't nail Kathleen Kennedy.
Don't nail Kennedy.
But it's true,
Frank. But yeah, that's basically what it is, and it is pretty hilarious, and it's sort of the Streisand effect. All it did was give you more subscribers and stuff like that. And in better hands, it could have been really funny, but it's just and then they rope you in with someone who would surreptitiously videotape a woman in her private moments and then broadcast all that kind of crap, So basically, the only one that owes an apology to She-Hulk is the producers of She-Hulk. That's what's done with this show. And so apparently, what's the sinister plot? Who's trying to get her blood? It's the creepy little fetishist guy who has the money to hire people to do this sort of thing. And that's all it is. There's really nothing there. So as far as her being a superhero, she never gets to be one. There's really nothing there. And it's people pretending they're comedy writers when they don't even have the ability to do that. So, once again, it's a wasted opportunity. Tatiana Maslany is a very talented actress. She's wasted here, like many other talents we've seen wasted on these products. And and the reshoots. I'm thinking like the business about someone wanting the blood sample was probably, we got to actually have something going on. So they put in that, and all in all, it took away from their debut of Daredevil. There's their Daredevil debut, and
I know,
and then everything's Doomcock trends on Twitter, and it's like, well,
not Daredevil, Doomcock. That's not good.
It's like, I don't know. The only surprising thing is they didn't kick Daredevil in the balls as much as I thought they would, but still, it wasn't that great. I guess they got someone to come in and choreograph the fight scenes for him, and then that was about it. That's too bad. But at the end of it all, I was thinking about when I was reviewing it myself, and I thought, Doomcock he wasn't really that critical of She-Hulk. He just kind of felt sorry for her.
Yeah, I know. I think
that was about it. Other shows you go after, and it's brutal and everything, and I like that. It's like, okay, whatever.
It's like I hit She-Hulk in the face with a coconut meringue pie, but then I went in the bushes and shit all over fucking Rings of Power, and I kicked Picard repeatedly in the nuts. It's like She-Hulk got off lightly. I actually kind of like, I love Tatiana Maslany. My whole thing about She-Hulk, the worst thing I can say about She-Hulk is it's neither fair fish nor foul. I mean, it's not good enough or adventurous enough or exciting enough to be a superhero show, and it's not funny enough, not nearly funny enough to be a sitcom. So it's kind of like, well, it's middle of the road. It's like meh of the road, is Roger Miller saying.
Now it's possible we're missing the point here. It could be that we should owe a thanks to She-Hulk because she just wanted to celebrate your 5-year anniversary, and so that's very nice. And congratulations on 5 years there, Doomcock. That's what
thank you, my friend. Yes, tomorrow is 5 years. I'll do a little live stream on it just to commemorate it. But 5 years. It's kind of amazing. Tom Connors, Midnight's Edge was the channel that first discovered Doomcock shouting in the wilderness like locusts and wild honey in a loincloth out there, like a nut. And it was Captain Rob that initially found me, and then Tom and Andre were very helpful and friendly, and so I just want to thank them. But Tom, holy shit, man, this is most unexpected.
Yeah, I mean, I started getting some messages about it, And a few people were asking me about it, and I'm like, I don't really see it. It looks more like somebody trying to do Anonymous or V for Vendetta than Doomcock. And they're like, no, you got to listen to what he's saying. I'm like, oh yeah, the voice, but I mean, that's what all modulated voices, have that similar kind of, thing going for them. So it's like, at first I'm just like, I'm skeptical, but I think a lot of people are just trying to project more than anything. But then a few people were like, no, actually listen to what he's saying. And I'm like, yeah, Doomcock doesn't say shit like that. He would never dox anybody, things you pointed out in your video, stuff like that. But they're like, no, listen to what he's saying. He's saying the things that Doomcock's detractors say that he says.
Right.
So it's like, okay, from that perspective, you're right. Like any of these guys that are out there dumping on Doomcock for not liking something or whatever, like these are the claims that they make on him, right? So that I can see. But I was still pretty skeptical until somebody sent me something else the other day.
Right.
And this was after you were on the channel, Doomcock.
Is that my cue?
Yeah, that'd be your cue, Mikey. This is not an official art as far as I know, as far as I can tell, but it could be, from what I'm told, it's pretty similar to what it looks like in the movie. But this is a design, I guess, for MODOK in the upcoming Quantumanium film. And once I saw this, I'm like, this is just too close to be a coincidence.
Yeah. There we go. A little bit. Yep.
Because MODOK doesn't even wear a mask.
No.
So
MODOK should wear a mask, but he does not. And that's very interesting.
That one seems a little too on the nose for me. Like, again, I can't verify if that's the actual design, but I've been told from a couple people now that that's pretty much what they saw. So
it's very, very strange. And what did it do? It only made me stronger. Like I said, it boosted my subs. It made me trend on Twitter. It made a whole bunch of people do videos about me. And I got, thousands of new subscribers. And a lot of that, I also thank the Quartering, Jeremy at the Quartering, a great YouTuber. I mean, I watch him all the time. Hell of a mensch, really, really good friend to do that. And I just want to send a shout out to the Quartering. And of course, all of you are subscribed to the Quartering, but if you're not, you should go and subscribe as well, because what a great channel he is. But it's a fascinating thing. I gotta say, it's been a wild ride, just in time for my 5-year anniversary tomorrow on YouTube. And what can I say? Thanks Disney. But God knows what lies ahead. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do in this next one. But I mean, She-Hulk's probably gonna beat the hell out of those guys, and it'll be interesting to see how people react to that. I don't know, but it's very strange.
The surprising thing is Star Trek didn't do this. I kept waiting for something to appear on the screen.
Oh, they will, Doug. Remember, they have to steal the ideas from somebody else.
Yeah, they're stealing from She-Hulk.
Hey, that's right. There we go. She-Hulk. Look what they did.
Then they'll appear on the view screen and have some candid video of Picard. Oh no! Oh yeah. There you go.
Speaking of fucking Picard. Okay, now we have to move on. Now is the part of Sprocket's very rant, because just today I looked at the trailer that leaked was posted on Saturday for Picard season 3. Now, so many people have been saying, "Oh, Picard season 3, it's going to be different. It's going to become, it's going to be awesome, and we're going to make it Star Trek again." Bullshit. God damn it. I was saying at the time, I don't care. You could fucking get Gene Roddenberry on a Ouija board writing scripts from beyond, and I'm still not going to watch any goddamn Kurtzman Trek. It's a fucking abomination. So I went ahead and looked at this fucking trailer. I hope you guys have seen it. So what are they doing? Are they being faithful to the next generation? Are they giving us another adventure with the next generation crew before they sail off into the sunset? Bullshit. They're not doing anything of the fucking kind. It is a goddamn abomination. It's more fucking Kurtzman Trek. Just look at Riff Raffy dragging her drug-addled, drunken fucking ass across the screen, going pew pew at some unknown menace. Fuck that shit. And then they have Worf saying, I'm a pacifist now. Hand me my tofu latte. I need to go ahead and exemplify the ways of peace. And then he sang like we shall overcome for 3 minutes. And Michael rowed the boat ashore. And that's when Picard himself threw up, even though he's a robot, threw up all over his own goddamn shoes. Or maybe that was me. I'm sorry. That was me. I threw up on my own goddamn shoes. Holy fucking shit. And yet then this is it. They have Worf says, I'm a pacifist. I prefer to resolve conflicts now, non-violently. And then they show Riff Raffy, that drunken, drug-addled piece of shit, running around going, pew, 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 shooting everything. And what do? They say, have Worf say, she is like I once was. Very angry. And it's like, oh, fuck you. Fuck you. They took all of the canon of Worf, all the canon of the Klingons, and flushed it down the fucking pot and went ahead and basically made Raffy the female Worf. Riff Raffy, for fuck's sake, living in a trailer down by the river, down by Vasquez Rocks. That's where we first see her. And Vasquez Rocks doesn't even have a fucking river, but she's living in a goddamn mobile home outside of Vasquez Rocks, which I took as a personal slight. Because how many fucking Star Trek episodes, not only in the original, but in the fucking like Next Generation, were shot out of Vasquez Rocks? They had to fucking put their mark on Vasquez Rocks and shit all over it in there. God damn it. And then, and they're trying to act like this is the fucking like real thing. Bullshit. Take a look at that fucking trailer. It's like they forgot that they need to use light bulbs on set. The fucking thing is dark. I almost said something bad. I'm going to not do that. But that fucking thing is like Ted Danson being controversial on an award show. Okay, that's how dark it is. It's fucked up. And it does not look anything like the Next Generation, which was bright, colorful, very well in focus. This shit is dark, gross, stupid. It's Kurtzman Trek. It's right out of the bowels of Satan, aka J.J. Abrams. I fucking hated every goddamn minute of this shit. And I'm feeling lightheaded right now because it's like, are you serious? I mean, there's a certain YouTuber that I respect, that everybody loves and respects, and I have love and respect for this YouTuber that I'm not going to name, that has inexplicably started shilling for Picard season 3, saying, no, this is different. This guy really loves Star Trek. Terry Matalas really loves Star Trek. And it's like, oh, did he really love fucking Star Trek when he was the showrunner on Picard season 2? I mean, seriously, we've already seen this motherfucker take a whack at that particular pinata. And it was fucked up, man. It wasn't any better. It was fucking worse. And now they're saying, oh, no, this isn't Kurtzman. No, he's going to go ahead and have his free reign on this. His free reign sucks. His free reign is Riff Raffy taking Worf's place, taking Worf's mojo. And Worf is like got a white goatee now, and he's like, hey, man. Hey, I'm Worf. How you doing, man? Listen, there's no way we have to go ahead and be so mean, man. We could go ahead and have like lots of enlightenment and stuff. And then he starts playing Donovan, Catch the Wind. Fuck you.
But there's lore.
What?
There's lore.
Oh, fuck. Hey, God damn it. If Lore's a fucking android, why's he got gray hair, motherfucker? Why's he got gray hair like Brett Spiner? Huh?
They forgot to get in the hair droids for men.
Oh my God. I fuck fuck this goddamn shit. Fuck. I mean, there's sometimes literally where Picard was saying lines and I couldn't even decipher what they were. I mean, he was like, oh, it's like, what? Dude, there are such things as cue cards. I mean, if Sir Patrick can't remember his fucking lines, they could just have them like in big print, like having some bored, union guy holding them up, The line is, Mr. Worf, we gotta go save the Earth. Mr. Worf, let's try it again, Patrick. Look at the cue card. It's Mr. Worf, we gotta go save the Earth. It's the Wolf. We'll go. Yeah, I mean, fuck this goddamn shit. Fucking looks horrible. Mexican Iron Man. What did you think of this shit?
Well, I was trying to think what words could describe how excited I was as I was watching it, but fortunately, I have. I'm going to turn my camera on because I have graphical representation of how me watching the.
Oh.
Okay, you ready?
I'm going to go ahead and embiggen you here.
Oh, shit. Hold on. I gotta get the right camera going. Hold on. Let me find the camera.
Oh, the right camera. Not the X-ray specs one. We don't want that one.
No, not the garage cam. We can't handle it.
Oh, phew.
Oh, he looks dead.
Thank God. I was having flashbacks when Steve left his mic on and went to the bathroom.
He looks like,
Is it over yet?
My God. And it was only 2 minutes. That's
what? Is it over?
Oh, my God.
This thing was awful, Doomcock. It was awful. It sucked. Here's the deal. I've been telling a lot of people, there's a lot of people on the internet say, give it a chance. No. You know what? I gave Discovery a chance. I watched 3 seasons of that crap. I gave Picard 1 and 2 a shot. I've seen every iteration that they've put out. And I took a bullet for seasons 1 and 2 of Picard. And let me tell you this much. I'm not sure. There's 3 things that blow me away. Number 1, if there's a massive threat to the universe, is there no one less than 75 years old that can face it in deep space? It's like, oh my God, we're under attack. The future of the Federation is at risk. What should we do? Quick, let's go to an adult community, a former Starfleet athlete. Quick.
Get the Viagra.
Quick, let's get the hovering wheelchairs out. Let's go. All right, let's line the old people up. All right, everybody, this is a brick of space coke. Let's do some lines. Let's get them going, guys. So number 1, with the universe at stake, are these our best warriors in our finest hour? I'd have to say probably not. Fuck you. I'm not watching your shit. I'm not watching your trailer again. And I hope to God that ever so much that I'm not going to have to watch any more track from any of these fucking idiots. You know what? You killed it for me. F you. F your trailer. And you know what? I'm not giving anyone a chance. I played this game before. And you know what? I just did it for Lord of the Rings. Not doing it again. I got rabbit chickens to harvest and take care of, and I got a tortilla plantation that I'd run. You know what? I literally would be a better investment if I tried to start a tortilla plantation and actually plant tortillas under the ground and watch them grow. I would have more hope in that than this piece of crap. F this show. Sorry.
The terrible show. I just want Kurtzman to go to a lucrative career doing other shows that are not ruining Star Trek. That's all I ask. Is that so much? Let him go do another Hawaii 5-0 or something. That's totally fine. Gary, dude, what'd you think of that trailer?
I love you, Mike. He kind of hit on some of my points and jokes, so that's cool. I know he's more passionate about it than I am. I thought it was hilarious. It's so funny that they finally end up doing the thing that everybody wanted in season 1, but nobody gives a shit. Nobody fucking cares. No one's gonna watch this pile of shit. The fucking passive Klingon was fucking hilarious. That shit is comic genius. I was laughing my ass off at that shit. Of course they're gonna fucking chop off fucking Worf's balls. But I remember reading on Twitter, somebody had posted something like, "Oh, here's the cast of Picard season 3. One of the primary characters is gonna die. Who's it gonna be?" And I was like, well, fuck it, make it all of them. Who gives a shit at this point? But I think that Texas would be just fine with it being fucking Deanna Troi.
Yeah, I don't know,
right?
man. It's bad. But
that's all I have to say. Really,
I'm not looking forward. I mean, remember like the scene where Beverly Crusher and Deanna Troi were in leotards working out together on the holodeck and stuff. I don't want to see Worf in a leotard working out with them. That's what's coming, and I don't want to see it. I mean,
there's like a knuckle touching scene, where they're fucking,
they have the bodies. They have the bodies of 19-year-old girls, but they should give them back because they're getting them all wrinkled.
No, that's terrible. Rancor Steve, any feedback on that particular trailer? Because it was awful.
Yeah, I thought the trailer was awesome. Just kidding. No, my biggest issue was not the fact that I couldn't understand what Picard was saying or what anyone was really saying, including, I don't know who the chick, dude, whoever that was, trying to attack them or something like that. It was weird. I didn't know anything. Too long of a trailer. I felt like I watched an entire season in one trailer. I was like, this is the dumbest thing. But one thing I noticed was, I just want to know one thing. Who edited this trailer? Because my God, it's terrible. It is. The music was off. The edits were bad.
The music was fucking horrible.
Dude, I have no idea. It's horrible. Oh, Gary understands my passion with editing. This was garbage. And then trailers are supposed to get you wanting to see the project. Am I wrong? It's supposed to draw you in. You're supposed to give little hints here and there. That's what an editor does. And I feel like they just picked the guy from middle school who's never understood how to edit just to do it. And no, I just wanted to go throw up. This is just terrible. And Lore with the gray hairs, like, okay, that makes sense, I guess. None of it makes sense. It's terrible. Oh God. And I'm new to Star Trek. This is just boof. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, does your red phone from the 70s like go gray? Does your can opener get wrinkles after a while? I mean, he's an android, for fuck's sake. It's just stupid as fuck.
With all the fucking deep fake technology, we can't just get young Lore or Lore in his original constructed state. Christ, it's so fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid.
Stop being ageist.
Hollywood seems to be
the old man on the panel
to using the deep fake technology for some reason. I don't know if you guys have noticed this or not, but like in almost every project, they will never use deep fake. They always use de-aging. It's like, why can't you just use, because it's free? Is it freeware? Is that the problem? I just don't get it. But anyway.
I don't either. It's because, why bother to, deep fake Lore when you could just give him a fucking wig? Just give him a fucking wig. You couldn't even bother to do that. They couldn't go down to central casting. Hey, I don't know. What's his name? Did on a sea hunt. What was his name? The Lloyd Bridges. Just find Lloyd Bridges' old hairpiece and pop it on Lore and call it a day. I mean, for fuck's sake, that's all you need.
Lloyd Bridges is too busy playing the president right now, so.
It's quite possible. John Rendell, did you have anything to say about this Picard trailer?
Well, Lore was predictable. I've been saying for years they were going to bring him back, with no real reason to. And there were a couple of things in the trailer that were interesting. Some of the shots of the ships and, the outside of in space, outside of the ships, kind of reminded me of Beksinski paintings, pure nightmare fuel. But that and, Lore with the pad being Worf being a pacifist, that's going to be just like an ex-smoker in a Pennsylvania strip club. It's not going to fly.
Well, they think it is, and you know, some YouTubers are saying this is the salvation of Star Trek. It doesn't look like Star Trek to me. Andy, anything you'd like to say about this?
Well, obviously, you people don't recognize the genius of lens flare, and I'm calling it.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
If they were going to change Lure's hair color, why didn't they make it red? You know, rust. I mean, as time goes on,
He's rusted. Yeah. He got out in a rainstorm, right?
Of course, then they would have to like race swapping because we know what happens to gingers. But
that's right, immediately.
And I'm calling it now. The chick that's attacking them is Picard's female clone.
Yeah, you might be right because there is a listing for like another Picard in the IMDb, if I remember right. But
you have got to be shitting me.
And she's going to be like, "Take those 4 lights, fire phasers."
Are you fucking kidding?
I'm just
that, or it's his daughter or something, maybe.
Well, yeah, she'd still be old.
I mean,
Renee
my
Picard,
God, that would
Penelope
be
Mitchell.
so Kurtzman.
Oh, that's not that chick though.
That would be so Kurtzman to go ahead and rip off Star Trek Nemesis and have it be a female like clone of. I mean, Jesus God,
who could be smarter and more diplomatic?
Well, Star Trek
epic. Yeah, Star Trek.
You know what? I'm gonna watch this. This sounds really good.
Yeah. You sick fuck.
It's starting to sound pretty.
Wait, you didn't watch the trailer?
This is alternate universe Gary Ambrosia that actually fell off the top of Vasquez Rock shooting that tribute, and this is what remains, folks. This is what remains. He's interested in watching Star Trek Picard.
I got to credit Warsuch for this one because he mentioned it in the live chat. But what did you think of the way Moriarty showed up, looking all like, you know, he also came out of the adult community?
That was fucking the stupidest thing ever.
I mean, shouldn't he look exactly the same?
Yes. Or however they programmed him to look, I guess. Well, we wanted him to look older so that we didn't feel too old.
We wanted to make it look like we had not updated the software in the system.
Is there any nudity?
And we ran it on Windows 95.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Moriarty was that was fucking laughable.
Wait a minute. All right,
just a literal member berry, just thrown out there like a dingle.
It was the biggest laugh in the trailer. I laughed so hard when I saw that.
It was bad.
Yeah.
If
they have to call him up, an old hologram program, to save their fucking ass because they don't know what to do.
Right.
It's like, I left my Pepsodent back at the rest home. I don't know what to do. That's why I'm mumbling.
Oh, God.
It's like, at the Federation rest home, we have a variety of activities to keep our senior Federation veterans comfortable and engaged. We have shuffleboard, we have bingo, and we have saving the universe when nobody else gives a shit.
Dude,
so come
maybe
on
that's
down.
how it ends. Maybe that's how it is. They're all sitting in wheelchairs.
Yeah.
With fucking, they're all in a holodeck. And they're like,
yeah.
Right.
That would actually save the whole thing. Yeah,
it would.
You know?
It would. They're like Captain Kirk moment. It's like, Captain, the warp engines are down. The dilithium crystals have dissolved. What are we gonna do? And Picard says, depends. And he puts a look on his depends. And he goes and empties his depends into the warp core, and it like da, 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 da. It's gas powered now, number one. It's like, I think I'm going to call you number 2 now, Captain. I'm good.
I can't believe that of all the people here doing Picard impressions, and we've got the one guy who's actually played Picard, and he's sitting there quiet with his little pink shirt. Come on, Steve.
Mega coy.
Now, 4 lights. Palm, Steve. Do the face palm.
Oh, this. Yeah, hold up.
Well, wait, that's the why the fuck and the face palm. You can't do both of them.
You know what? Maybe I'm Picard. Hey, I'm Picard. I can do whatever the fuck I want. If I want to, what's that?
There are 4. Douglas, what do you think about this nonsense?
Well, it's pretty much what I expected. You know, and of course, I guess the cruelty of it is that it gives you all the the things that people wanted in the initial first season. You know, it's like, hey, guys, Next Generation reunion, but it's just as well because now you see what the result would have been. And basically, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna rip off Nemesis because that's probably the only Trek movie that Kurtzman ever saw or has any knowledge of. And then basically the plot of old villains returning is just rip off of Wrath of Khan again, because that's the only other Star Trek movie that Bad Robot knows. And also to approach it, hey, who's the Darth Vader of Star Trek? I think it's Khan. Okay, so for Next Generation, it's hey, you got several. And all that. Lore is the one thing that would have been a story to pursue because we don't know whatever became of him and all that, So, but it's too late. It's too late. Everything's been burnt down. And maybe there'll be a cool scene here and there. Maybe. I doubt it. But after those first two seasons, it just I've called it Last Jedi level stuff for Star Trek, and that's pretty much what it's been. And so no, it's too late.
I agree entirely. And I wonder if they'll wheel Khan out, literally, like wheel Khan out, and he'll wheel Pike's up. Chair. Yes, and it'll be Picard, my old friend.
He look like Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, that's right.
You know the Klingon proverb that revenge is a dish best served cold, where it is very cold in the rest home cafetorium. Tom, what do you think of all this nonsense? Did you watch the damn trailer?
Yeah. I mean, at this point, whatever, but like I didn't hate it at the same time, but I didn't go woo or anything like that. It was just like, to me, it just looked like nothing worse than any of the last few TNG movies we got. That's what it kind of felt like to me. I mean, I agree with most of the shit everybody's saying as far as like the looks, what they did to Worf and certain other aspects of the show. I'm sure there's going to be, like I explained in the behind the scenes before Doug even was bringing it up. It's like, yeah, it just looks like a Wrath of Khan ripoff. But what else was Nemesis? I mean, let's be real. This is the well for them at this point. Do I think it's going to be any good? No, but I can see where certain fans might enjoy it. Am I going to watch it? Probably not. I haven't seen the last two seasons, or I've seen the first season, but I don't think I didn't watch any of the second season. I don't even think I watched the first episode. As far as like actually getting down to watching it though, no. But I mean, at the same time, I'm the type of guy who comes up with shit like Nunchuckosaurus and Vampirates. So, I mean,
both are more creative than the entire.
Which, Gary, we got to talk about that second one. We really do.
What's that?
Vampirates.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. It's almost as good as Helicopter.
Well, you got vampires and
Chopper from
pirates,
hell,
and you
right?
mix them together. Vampirates.
That sounds
much
good.
better.
What do you think about demonically possessed Helicopter? Helicopter.
That could be an old franchise on its own too,
right?
Or a shared universe. A shared universe. The Vampirates crosses over.
They fly helicopters.
Holy crap!
Okay,
Yeah.
post show meeting. We're on it.
We could make the YouTube horror movie demonetized. Demon.
Demonetized. Oh dear.
Ooh.
That's
is
perfect.
cool.
That's just
wow.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, man, I hated this shit, so I don't like it.
I have no hope for it being any good, but as far as compared to what we've gotten, it's a less stinkier kind of shit, I guess. I don't know how else to put it. I mean,
well, I think it looks dark and ugly, just like Kurtzman Trek. We got Riff Raffy running around with Worf's balls in her purse. It's just it's fucking awful.
As far
man.
as the darkness, so was Nemesis. I mean, as far as that goes, so that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
I mean, in that respect.
But oddly enough, Nemesis was the only watchable Next Generation movie in my view, and it was a ripoff.
I like First Contact, but there's a lot of problems with First Contact too.
I hated the plot holes in it were just unbearable to me.
I can't wait to see Michael Dorn's new commercial Do you suffer from low T?
That was my point. Is all the TNG movies are barely worthwhile compared to the show, and that's what this feels like to me. It's like, okay, you're doing the Legacy sequel version of the TNG movie, but you're doing it as a TV show. Good for you. Okay. Because like you guys have said, this is what we've wanted this whole time, but is it really what we would have wanted to watch these guys stumble around in their 80s? I mean, because we're even 20 years past what the original cast was doing age-wise when they were doing their movies, right? So I mean,
know.
Yeah.
It's going to be just like SCTV, you know? With
It really
Eugene
was
Levy
too
lying
long.
on the
they've
stage.
literally become a Simpsons skit. Star Trek 18. We're too old for this shit or whatever. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
we're very,
That's
very
the problem.
tired.
So
The very
tired.
final,
Harry
final,
Como
final
is still
frontier.
alive.
I like the nightlife. I've got a bogey.
Doom, you remember he's got his hand on the microphone and he's like tapping his fingers?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Doing
it's
his
just,
exercise.
it kind of looks like a meme. You're right, guys. I mean, in that respect, I mean, it's just like.
Oh, wait a minute. Late breaking graphics are coming in here from our production department here.
Oh, excellent.
Okay.
Doug, you got to let me know when you send these.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah.
Well, I just shared it.
Okay,
Yeah,
there we go.
Look at that.
The
That's what I'm
cast.
saying. I mean, what about that looks awfully appealing? None of it, really.
Yeah.
Some
Well,
of
I
these
tell
just
you
should be
what.
left alone.
Well, for
exactly,
once, Raffi's
yeah.
got the right idea. So,
This is definitely a new wrinkle in the next generation.
Well, like I said, it's the
canon.
final frontier.
yeah.
Well, at least all those women can work all 4 weeks out of the year.
A couple more reunions and they'll have more than Kiss.
Wow. Holy shit.
Oh my god. Picard looks like he's about to say, "Let's cut a rug, Daddy." Oh, it's just not fucking Burma shave. I'm disturbed. All right. So I understand. Oh, where? Oh, there's John.
Am I here?
Dropped out somehow.
Oh, it
Hey,
dropped out
John.
for a bit, yeah.
So, John, I
Well-
understand that you had something here that was kind of special. You wanted to share with us here, related to my 5-year anniversary.
Well, this is something very special. And Gary, do you want to run the video first? Kind of give it the introduction.
I think Mike is in charge of the video.
Yeah,
and-
DC, you just got to share and go full screen. Here
Okay.
it goes. Everybody hears audio, right?
Uh-oh, we got
Yeah,
a computer problem.
Did you guys get your special goggles to read this?
No.
Uh-oh.
Are you kidding me? Does anybody read my memos?
There was
can't
memos?
Oh, you guys.
Follow along.
Oh, shit. Oh, Lord.
Oh dear, no. No! That's terrifying. Oh no, that's awful.
Lord.
Holy shit. Holy shit. That's spooky as shit.
Nice.
Holy crap. Wow, look at that. Whoa. Damn, dude. Look at that. That's incredible. Wow.
That's nice.
There's a little blue there. Holy crap.
Oh, you keep muting
Wow.
the video?
Yeah, no, we're seeing it. Look at that.
Wow.
Holy crap, man. Wow.
It's a fucking Harvey axe.
Whoa.
Oh, it's a base.
Some
Wait till it
Harvey
goes-
action.
Watch this part.
Woo!
It goes to 11.
Oh.
It can never be played.
Don't touch it. Don't even look at it.
Don't even look at it.
He's coming to munch her down. Woo! Oh man, that is something. Oh!
Because this is Thriller.
Oh dear, oh dear,
That's
oh
excellent.
dear. That is fucking awesome, man. Thank you very, very much. John, holy crap. Look, let's hear
Oh, then he
go.
dropped the Infinity Gauntlet. Oh no.
No, wait. Let
I
me...
dropped my shot foreman.
Oh, it was a bear. I thought it was the Infinity Gauntlet.
No, this is my shot foreman, roly poly.
I see it now.
Oh man, that is something, dude.
That is excellent.
Well, what that started out with was more of this piece of wood.
It's Mikey Spock.
Mikey Spock is here.
Put to good use anyway.
Yeah. And then put through the planer and the joiner, glued it up, drew it out, carved it out, and then took the neck from one of my other bases, an old Fender Squire, and modified it, and just did all the carving and the build on it. And of course, it's actual felt for the headstock, and it worked out pretty well. It got done a lot faster than I thought it would, this version. The original, I got to give Andy Masterson credit for this. When he gave you the action figure, what was it, a year and a half ago?
Right, yeah.
That kind of inspired me to get off my butt and really do this, because I'd been thinking about it ever since I first saw Harvey. Because I'm somebody who associates, characters and shapes with guitars. It's just something I've done for decades.
It's perfect,
And,
John. It's perfect.
Well, thank you. The first one, it went really well until it didn't. And I ended up having to cut out part of it and replace it.
Oh, man.
That didn't go well. And then, I gave up on it for a little bit, and then I started again, and it went even worse. And I found the original neck that I had for it was for a 6-string. It was actually twisted from the humidity. So I put this together, and I got to say, I've got a lot of support from everybody at King Dolphin TV, Baron Armentag, Fet for Hire especially, has been a real, a big fan and a great support.
Hail Fet for Hire.
Yeah.
Amen.
But that was something I felt I had to do, and that will be coming to you as soon as I can figure out how to get it packaged up right. And
thank you.
Pull that
so
puppy
much,
down and start playing money right now. Let's hear it.
Well,
91 measures.
Thank
I could
you,
play a little something.
I'm
John.
kidding, of course.
That's
but yeah.
amazing. That is absolutely amazing, and
That is awesome.
I'm blown away. Harvey's thrilled. I want to thank you very, very much, John Fezrendel. Holy crap! I had no idea. Nobody leaked it to me, so thank you.
That is awesome, dude.
No problem. And
Thank you.
that's in a lot of gratitude.
100%. God bless you, John. Thank you so much, man.
Well, it's in a lot of gratitude for all you've done for me. When I had the eye surgery, you and the chat were there in the frolics. When my cat passed away, you sang The Amazing Grace. And through, when I had the stroke and again, the other eye surgeries, it's made a real difference. And it's, your videos, the frolics, pop culture breakdown has been a big part of what's got me through the last 3 years. So, to paraphrase you, paraphrasing Bogart, when somebody saves your life, you're supposed to do something about it. So,
Oh man, thank you.
there it is.
Oh brother, I'm so glad I could have any kind of impact, and God bless you, and beautiful work. I just want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, man. I will treasure it, and thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
You're
Very
amazing.
welcome. And would you be interested in hearing it?
Yeah, if it works.
All right, let me mute
Don't play
this for a
anything
second, 'cause
copyrighted,
Tony-
but
No. I've been warned.
But in the meantime, we have a special guest here, ladies and gentlemen. We have a very, very special guest, a celebrity. a great artist, a hell of a YouTuber, and a prominent member of Comicsgate. My friends, I am delighted to welcome to the show Ethan Van Sciver, Uncle Ethan, the human sunbeam. Ethan, how are you, man?
Lord Doomcock, I salute you. I bow.
I salute you, brother. It is an honor to have you here, man. It's been a long time. I haven't seen you in a while.
It has been a while. How did you get She-Hulk's nudes? Listen, I don't know how you managed to do that.
Oh, I got the answer for that.
Unbelievable. How do you feel, man? How do you feel knowing that like they selected you? Like Disney is looking at YouTube, as I know you guys already talked about this, but how do you feel about that? And they selected you as their biggest irritants or threat or something.
It's very weird. I wasn't even that hard on She-Hulk, but of course they started this before She-Hulk, before I ever reviewed or saw She-Hulk. So this was in the works. I imagine that this is some kind of payback or something for Indiana Jones 5, that leak that really just sent them scrambling and delayed their production for a year, or it might have been the shit that I way back in the day when Rise of Skywalker was coming out, and I had sources that just nailed all that shit that was going on. But it's funny, Ethan. I mean, you know how it is. I mean, you've been in this game for a while, and you can't win. I mean, that's the thing, is that like when I was giving good reviews to The Mandalorian and stuff, they said, Doomcock works for Disney. Doomcock's a Disney shill. and then I do this other stuff and they're like, oh, you need to be reasonable. The Book of Boba Fett wasn't that bad. It's like, fuck, I just tell it like I see it. I don't know,
They're very they call us fragile man babies, but I gotta say the fragility shown over there. These people have incredible power. They're reaching everyone, right? I mean, they're Disney. They're gigantic. They have the biggest platform in the world, and they're concerned about YouTube critics. That destroys me. That is unbelievable. And not only are they concerned about you, that makes sense. They should be concerned about you, but they impute the worst kind of evil onto you, unimaginable evil. It is bizarre. It is bizarre. It only means that we have to keep doing what we're doing.
We are, man. I mean, you're doing incredible stuff over, at the comics front of things. Really just, making very successful, the most successful comics maybe in the world. I mean, much more successful than your average Marvel or DC comic at this point. I mean, their sales are in the toilet. Cyber Frog is kicking ass, and it's because people are fleeing the comic book industry because it's creatively and spiritually bankrupt. I mean, they're just, I mean, my God, the thing with Superman, where he was in prison for 8 months and they did things to him.
Oh,
it's just
awful. Just
horrible, dude. And you were right on the cutting edge. I mean, you were in the comic book industry, you saw it. And you took action, and God bless you, man. You are spot on.
There are so many great comic skaters right now that are putting out books. Gabe El-Taib, left the Superman book because he was disgusted by its lack of Americanism. It's anti-Americanism, getting rid of truth, justice, and the American way and replacing it with another slogan. Of course, they lost the copyright to that slogan because it was just deemed to be too vague or too, ordinary. They could have come up with another American slogan, but they decided not to do that. And it made Gabe El-Taib sick. It's why he left. And that book was just the bisexual. He's bisexual or gay? I don't know what. Everybody's bisexual in the DC comics.
Baseline bi
now, yeah.
They got rid of. They canceled that book, and it's so amazing the way that they canceled it and the amount of coping that's going on the internet right now. They said the book is coming to an end. And then we're going to pick it up again for a 6-issue miniseries. And then sometime in 2023, the miniseries is going to come out. That's a cancellation. That's how DC would cancel a book, but still give the character another chance to maybe take off with a new #1 that they're non-committal to. It's just a miniseries. The amount of denial on the internet about this right now is unbelievable. It's unreal. And for this to happen coinciding with Bro's utter and complete failure, it's too much for them. It's absolutely too much for them. So fun times in Comicsgate. I was watching you all yesterday. It was an absolute blast, dude. Your show is great. Was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was yesterday.
Thank you. I'm honored, and I mean, it was fun back in the days of the High Council. Come on, hang out with you guys. So much fun. But Ethan, I mean, I feel like it's hard to tell in the fog of war, but I think the fact that they're doing shit like this means that we are getting to them, and I think it means that they are disturbed by it, and that it is efficacious, that we are actually, despite all their slanders and misrepresenting what we say and everything, I think it means that we are actually having an impact, which is kind of blows my mind. I mean, they have such a global reach, they have billions of dollars, and we're just, kind of streaming, videos on YouTube and stuff. But I don't know. Do you think that we're having an impact, that we're making a difference?
Well, one thing is clear: when we say don't give money to people who hate you, they absolutely do hate you. They're trying to demonize your point of view to the degree that they would call you a supervillain. I mean, they're referring to you. They made you into a supervillain cult. And that's not just you. I mean, understand, you're just the face of, you're the spokesperson of, and the face of all of your fans, all of the people that are watching you right now. You guys who watch Doomcock regularly should not think that attack was a broadside attack just on one man. It was an attack on all of you. Okay. And it was, they really, really do not. They don't want to accept your criticism. They want to call you evil for your criticism. That's what they're trying to do. And so to me, like, I'm not sure if we're getting through to them. I don't know if that's possible to get through to them, but they definitely see you as a threat. And they definitely see the fandom. They feel the fandom turning on them. And they've decided to go after one of the figureheads of this fandom movement, and that's you, and go after you hard. I mean, that was crazy. There was no reason for that. There are people in the that I've seen on the internet that are like, you should sue them. And listen, people are allowed to be critics. I understand they're allowed to criticize you right back, I suppose. But that was very close to defamation. The idea to think that you are somebody who would do that. What you were depicted in doing. You've never done that. That's not something that you do. You don't dox people. You don't expose their sex tapes to the internet. That's not who you are. And the fact that they had to take that and they had to create this whole this fake image of what you're up to and what this fandom is up to is despicable and disgusting. I mean, I would just say over and over again, everybody just has to walk away from Disney. Disney is an evil company. That's how I feel about it. I just feel like they're an evil company, irredeemable, and people should stop supporting them in any way after that, especially after that. It's just one more thing.
I agree. It's a sad state of affairs, and I mean, I don't remember if we've talked about it on when the streams we did together, but honestly, it feels like there's such a unified assault on all fronts, on comics, on television, on movies, even music, to essentially undermine the greatness of the past. It's kind of like in Wrath of Khan, I mean, they're have this Genesis device that they are hitting our pop culture with, which basically destroys such life in favor of its new Matrix. And they're trying to make a whole new Matrix, discard the values and the intellectual property and the myths and stories and legends of the past, in order to further some kind of, I don't know.
What purpose? Why are they doing it, in your opinion? Like, what do you think the end game is?
I think the end game is homogeneity. I think, hive mind as opposed to individuality. I think that they don't like individual achievement. They don't like excellence. They want to kind of make everything into gray ooze, like, nanobots would if they were unleashed in certain scenarios where they turn every bit of matter into homogeneous gray ooze. I think that's what they're kind of trying to do. I think that that.
What would be the purpose of them not liking personal individual achievement, do you think? What's the end goal of that? First of all, what do you think the main end goal of all of this is? Why would they turn pop culture against people who why would they kind of make these drastic sweeping changes in pop culture? Why would they focus so much on identity politics? What do you think the purpose of that is?
I think that, well, first of all, on a very crass monetary level, I think that what they want to do is get everyone used to mediocrity. Where they just watch something because there's a label on it, because it's Star Trek, it's Star Wars, without any kind of critical thinking, without any kind of expectations of quality, excitement, humanity. They just, product, consume. So there's that. I think that, also Yuri Bezmenov back in the, 80s and 90s was warning about, the Soviet Union had a aim towards toppling icons of, our culture and stuff too, because they know that stories are kind of the things that cement a culture together, provide continuity, like, the whole thing of the oral traditions that were handed down from father to son, from daughters to mothers to daughters. And when you erode those stories, if you invalidate Captain Kirk or Captain America or Superman, you're invalidating the example they led and the kind of values that they exemplified. And I think, when you have rugged individuality, that's a kind of a threat to, it's like rollerball, right? Jonathan, when he like rose above the game of rollerball, which was supposed to just be a bread and circuses for the masses. I think that's what it is, Ethan. I mean, that's my take on it anyway. They don't like individuality. They want everyone to stay in their fucking lane, shut the fuck up.
In a lane, right? Yeah. In a group.
Yes.
Right.
Well,
so
you've got guys... don't have an identity. They don't have an identity of their own. They have no identity of themselves. All they do is identify with the collective. It's whatever the hive mind is thinking. That's why when you ask them, the man in the street questions, they can't answer, because all they have is, you ask them, well, what does that mean? And they can't answer you, because it's all a hive mind. And that's all they have. They have no personal identity of themselves. And I think they're jealous of people that do.
Yeah, I think that, what they're trying to do is they're trying to, because, I think Gary said something in the private chat. He said pop culture fuels politics. And that's right. Like, all of this is about politics. So they've decided that what they can do is they can take, Doomcock's right, beat down like individuality. You're not an individual. Stop thinking as an individual. Stop being somebody who thinks for themselves, and start getting in line. And if you get out of line with us, we're going to do what we did to Doomcock here. We're going to shame you publicly. We'll separate you from the herd, and we're going to isolate you. But they want you to be in easy to understand, compartmentalized voting blocks. And that's the ultimate goal of all of this. And we're white males. So it's hard there. It's easier just to sort of say, look, white males are intrinsically evil. Do you want to be evil? Or do you want to just sort of be sympathetic? Do you want to be an ally to these voting blocks that we've got? So you're a black male, a black female, lesbian, gay, whatever it is. You're all intended to be treated the same way, represented. That's what representation is all about. It's like we represent how you're supposed to behave. And you notice that it's all these like white liberals who are deciding how black people are supposed to act, like what their voices are. Do you remember the Miles Morales, What If He Was Thor book? Did you read that thing? White liberals like talking about like basically writing dialogue for like Miles Morales, and it's like, what up, homie? I be in the hood of Asgard. It's like they decide that shit. They tell you who you are, they tell you how you're allowed to be, and they put you in a group, and they say that's where you need to stay, and you need to vote the way that we tell you to vote. That's the ultimate channel, because we're gonna push you towards an attitude that's gonna make you vote a certain way. And then you've got somebody like Eric July.
Yeah.
You see, I mean,
Ripaverse. Yep.
Dangerous as fuck. absolutely dangerous as fuck to these people because, listen, we're going to go one way or the other. White males, we're either going to comply or be destroyed. You know what I mean? So, they assume you're white, you're going to be destroyed. So we're either going to become allies or we're going to be demonized. Eric July is just supposed to fit right into that box and be a black male. That's what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be Black Lives Matter. He's supposed to be voting Democrat all the way and just basically advocating for the identity politics that, they're telling him to advocate for, that they say that all black people should believe. Dangerous as hell. So this is much bigger, Doomcock. Like you being isolated, you being pointed out and being targeted as somebody who is a villain who needs to be destroyed is amazing. It's not even about Disney. It's political. It's much bigger than that. So you should feel kind of good about that, but also kind of scared, but also kind of honored, but also realize the weight of your responsibility as an entertainer. Like you obviously you've been chosen to be very, very important, and that's cool as hell.
Well, thanks, man. I think it's good company. What they did to Jordan Peterson was absolutely disgusting and abhorrent. Slandering him as the Red Skull just because. I mean, I've never heard him say anything.
He's a normal person. He's
never.
Very smart, but he's a normal guy. It's weird. I want to hear the bass. I'm sorry. I watched the whole thing happen, and I like the video, and I got so excited about that. How does it sound?
Let's hear it, John.
All right. Let me know when you can hear this, if it's too loud, just yell wildly. All right.
Sure.
Sounds good.
Is that good right there?
It's a little loud.
Too loud?
Turn it down.
Where you started was good.
I can pull that back.
Right
there?
There
Okay.
you go.
Here we go. How's that?
Excellent.
Fucking great, John. Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you, John Fez Rendell, brother. You're a talented guy. Thank you for making that, and thank you for coming on and spending some time with us. And I'm honored, John. Thank you.
Can I ask EBS one thing before he takes off too?
Yeah, please go ahead, Tom.
Ethan, now like you've dealt with this kind of stuff like head on. So like we brought up the fragility of these people. Can you kind of give us a little insight? Hey George, how you doing?
Hey Tom.
George.
A little insight, Ethan, into what it's like dealing with these people, because you have firsthand through your experiences pretty much been canceled by these same type of people. So I was just curious what that experience was like, and what kind of worldview these people seem to have from your perspective.
Yeah, they're all political activists who share a goal, and that goal is unified. They all work in concert. Like the problem with us, like I'm a conservative. I don't know where you guys are, but I'll assume that some of you are leaning to the right. We do not work in concert. We work against each other all the time, and like we don't share a singular goal to actually achieve something. And it's a real problem. They are like a school of piranhas, and they know, like, they only attack each other when one swims against the current, and then they all turn and they'll, like a piranha will, they'll eat the piranha that's kind of going against the grain. Somehow they all know, they all feel which way to go, so they move in concert. And they're very effective in that way, just very effective. When they say it's time for Tom Connors to get canceled, they all move to do that together. So when I was canceled, I did everything wrong. I apologized. I tried to fix it. You know what I mean? I did everything that you're not supposed to do. And I learned a lot from that lesson, an awful lot from it. I try to teach other people what to do, because when they come after you, and Doomcock, I don't have you been canceled? Do they know stuff about you, or are you okay? I mean,
no, I'm fine. And
okay.
even if the thing is, if I ever do reveal who I am or get doxxed or anything, what it's going to do is open the faucets of money because then I will be able to do crowdfunding for comics, for movies,
Hell yeah.
that I don't do right now. So I mean, they would be basically opening the fucking Pandora's fucking box and letting me out. And so
that's what happened to me. Like the people who like went after me and tried to destroy me and called me a white supremacist and all this nonsense. They did a great job of it, and I helped them do it because I just kind of did everything wrong. But then I kind of stood up and decided that I'm going to be an activist too, and I'm going to make it possible for people who have been canceled from comics to continue to make comics. And the same people were like, I actually saw them on Twitter going, he's more dangerous than ever. We've made him more dangerous than ever. He's really dangerous now.
Right.
And that's what happens when they free you in that way, when they liberate you from, obligations, when they liberate you from, especially like social obligations. Like in comics, you have to keep your mouth shut. You can't express political views. You can't badmouth anything that any of the other companies are doing. You can't actually speak truth because you're being quiet and working for the machine. Once they liberate you and you have 30 years of knowledge of how the industry works, you become very, very dangerous indeed. And I do believe that that's what I got from this whole situation. I understand what they're doing in ways that other people don't, I guess, because I've been on the inside. I was with the SJWs. I listened to what they had to say. I know what their prejudices are. I know who they are. But in general, there are a couple of really, really great books by a guy that I don't like very much, and he doesn't like me either. But boy, I'm so glad he wrote these books. Vox Day, who wrote a couple of books called SJWs Always Lie and SJWs Always Double Down. And these two books right here, if you read them, they will spell out exactly what is going to happen to you when they come after you and how to deal with it. It's amazing, Tom. If you haven't read those yet, you don't have to tell anybody that you read them. I mean, nobody likes to brag about dealing with Vox Day, but like read those books in private or listen to them, listen to the audio books, and they're going to spell out exactly who these people are, what they want, and what they're going to do to you, and how to deal with it. They're, so valuable, incredibly valuable.
I know that we're going to go do a few super chats in a minute, and then we're going to go to shit all over Rings of Power episode 7. But I will say that Ethan, I don't know how long you've got it. You can hang out or you can head out, or John as well. But I know that some folks here on the panel would love to say a few things to you before whatever. I mean, I don't know if you want to stick around or not. You're welcome to, whatever you'd like.
Yeah, man, I'll hang out. I haven't watched Rings of Power yet at all.
Don't. It's fucking awful, dude.
Neither is Steve.
Well, just in case he has to pop off, I'm going to go real quick. Uncle Ethan, I just want you to see the hat I've been wearing all day. You'll recognize.
Yes, sir. All Caps Comics. Woo!
And I just want to say real quick.
Oh, wow.
Nice. There we go.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mike. Appreciate your support.
And also our boys, of course.
Yes. That's right, Graham Nolan. Wonderful.
You might not be able to see it. I got a spinner rack over here, and it's filled with independent comics. You see the monitor right behind me? Where's it?
Your studio is badass, dude.
Yeah, so I've got two of those. One's downstairs, one's here, and they're aside from Graham Nolan stuff from your stuff from Green Lantern. My Green Lantern stuff is downstairs, along with Graham's Batman stuff. But all my independent comics are up here. I just want to say, the way I came to the internet was for comics, and you were the first channel I found. And I want to thank you for giving me back comics. Thank you for everything you've done with Comicsgate. I cannot tell you what a joy it is to have things that I love opening up. And then when my packages come, whether it's the hat I order or any of the campaigns and comics.
Do we take care of you? Does Andrea take good care of you when you order?
So good. So, bro, when I answered this one, when I ordered this one, I think I got one of the last ones left. It was here in 4 days.
Yeah.
The customer service is unbelievable, but that's the standard of Comicsgate across the board. It's unbelievable. My books arrive well packaged. The boards are tight. The good plastic is solid. The tape's where it needs to be. And I just want to say thank you very much. You and Doomcock are the two. I have over 30 memberships on YouTube channels. Yours and Doomcock's are the two oldest that I've had. And I am ever so appreciative for everything you've done. Thank you.
I see, brother. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much, man.
100%. I know Andy wanted to say something to you as well, Ethan. Is that true, Andy?
Yeah, Ethan, thank you for giving me that shout out and playing my review of ISOM the other day.
Yes, that was a great review, dude. That was awesome.
So here's like, I don't know if you know me. I've made like these action figures of various YouTube creators.
Yes, there is Doomcock himself.
So there has been an Ethan Van Sciver figure sitting in my drawer here for a while, waiting until my Cyberfrog figures arrive. That will be making its way like about 10 miles away to Marlton.
Oh, you're kidding me.
But it will be coming to you very, very soon. I just have to finish up the box for it.
That is amazing. Thank you very much. That is outstanding. Does Doomcock have one of those of himself?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. When you see yourself in an action figure, man, you're gonna be very happy. It's gonna be.
And Doomcock, like I beg to differ here, because here's Jordan Peterson in the Red Skull's outfit. So I mean, you know,
he looks sharp. He's a sharp dressed man, that's for sure. I mean,
have you sent one of those to Jordan? I mean,
no.
I love Jordan Peters. I admire the hell out of that guy. He's amazing.
He's such a good guy, man. When I was being canceled, Jordan Peterson, he's like, "Do you need to talk?" And I was like, "Yes, sir."
Wow.
And he, if you got time, and he just said, "Listen," he's like, "Ethan," and I said, "I'm like, I'm being attacked." I'm like, a whiny mope about it, and he just goes, "Listen to me. You can't let these mobbers back you into a corner. Do you understand?" And I went, just that the way he's the mobbers. I never heard that. And back you into a corner. And I just went, "Yes, sir." And he's like, "You're going to stand up for yourself?" And I was like, "Yes, sir." That I still think about that all the time. Don't let them back you into a corner ever. That was it. I got to talk to Jordan Peterson a couple of times as I was illustrating his book.
Man, that's great.
It was phenomenal. Here's my Cyberfrog action figure.
Oh yeah, let me
pulled out my Salamandroid. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful.
Isn't it great?
Beautiful. My God, that's super
cool.
His toes work and everything.
That's great.
I can't wait till they ship. I want to make a 1/6 scale one of those so bad.
Oh, we should do that. We should do a 1/6 scale. But I mean, this is stuff that we do. We can do this. Like Comicsgate is able to do this. We wouldn't be able to do anything like this. I'm sure they're going to be ISOM action figures. All of the Comicsgate books. We'll get to it eventually. I got to do it first. I got to lead the way.
There you go.
I already made ISOM #1.
Did you make ice? Oh, you made an ISOM action figure?
I made a mock-up so far. I sent it to Eric. I also made Eric his own action figure too. But I really would love to jump on there and make like a prototype of the ISOM action figure. But I wanted to see when the book actually got here, because I wanted to see how tall the character was and what scale to make him in.
Very, man. That is awesome. And I know, John, you had something else you wanted to say real quick before you headed out. Go ahead, John.
I just wanted to say thank you also for leading me to Lord Raymond Feliciano and King Dolphin TV. I've had a great time there the last year. And also that led to Baron Ormontag, which I've been having a great time with him. These are some really great people, part of your community. It's been a joy to be part of this. A great deal of fun to be here and to make that for you. So I'm really happy, and I'm glad to have been here. And
thank you, John.
You guys at last is also a joy.
I'm very impressed, John, and very grateful, and that's going to be a wonderful thing I will display proudly and even play around with. I don't know how to play the bass. I know how to play the guitar a little bit, but I don't know how to play the bass. So it'll be an interesting experiment.
Never too late to learn.
Yeah, I'll be Paul McCartney for a while.
Yeah. And I will be sending a wall hanger with it. So that it's just 2 screws and it's got the new shape for the neck. So, all right. Well, have a great night, everybody.
You
nice
made that
meeting
later, brother John.
Good
night,
you,
man.
brother. Thank you, brother.
See you later.
Thank you. Bye.
Hey guys, just real quickly, I gotta say I'm real disappointed in you guys because you didn't wear your holographic glasses like I asked you to wear
to me.
And
you didn't hand them out.
Y'all are making me look like a complete dipshit.
What are you seeing that we're not seeing now, Gary?
Well, I can't tell you unless you have the glasses. It's hard to explain.
Well, what does it look like from your side?
Have you ever seen a 4D object in 3D?
I've never even seen a 3D
yes.
object. I'm too drunk.
Well,
You know,
see, that's what I'm talking about. If you guys don't read my memos, man, we can't run as a team here.
I'm sorry, man. I will go find some
Can you put them
bubble
on paint
wrap
paper?
and cut myself out some as well.
Maybe they'll stand out more.
I'll take them
I'll
off.
try.
Jeez, you guys.
But in the meantime, before I don't want to waste George's. George came on here specifically.
Yeah, and all I gotta say to Ethan is just you know, when I was dealing with my shit last year, he's one of the few people who did reach out to me besides my inner circle of friends. So I just wanted to say thanks for that while I had a moment in time. So
yeah, brother.
No, man, it's really awesome. You know, I've shouted you out a number of times, and you know, and people have told me you've shouted me out, and finally we've met again. You know, we are reunited, and it feels so good. And
we should do a show.
We should absolutely do a show, man. We've got a lot to talk about, and please feel free to stick around. I do have to get to some of these super chats, and then we're gonna shit all over fucking Rings of Power, and you can just, you know, hang out or whatever. But let's go ahead and do these real quick. Thank you guys for your patience out there in the chat, and I'll go ahead and get to these. Michael Maloney with a $5 super chat. Thank you. Michael says, hail. I think Chato would be an excellent addition to Sunday night. Yeah, I met him just the other day on Midnight's Edge, and we'll bring him on. He's a funny, genial, smart guy, and has a lot to say. I absolutely love to have him on. Thank you, Michael. Tycho TMA1, who's been a member with us for 15 months now. Thank you, Tycho TMA1 says, hail DC. Congrats on trending on Twitter. I know, it's fucking weird. Sorry, I've been absent. My FOB was hit by Hurricane Ian. Geez, I know, man. I'm so sorry. We've got power, internet, but not clean water yet. Poor dude. I'm so sorry. God bless Florida, and my heart goes out to all of you guys that got hit by that shit. That's just awful. God bless you, Tycho TMA1. In fact, I have a monolith here from Mexican Iron Man on my desk right here. Every time I look at it, I think about him and I think about you, brother. Thank you. Matt G with a $5 super chat. Thank you. Matt says Picard season 3 trailer is hilarious. You know what category this show belongs in? Old, mostly bad TV show reunions. Brady Bunch girls get married. Return to Gilligan's Island, return to Green Acres, return to Mayberry, Harlem Globetrotters meets Gilligan's Island, Get Smart Again, The Nude Bomb, Patty Duke 1999, Dobie Gillis 1988, etc. You're exactly right, Matt G. Only it's infinitely shittier than those examples. That's the thing. Honestly, it's just the bottom of the fucking barrel. And Kurtzman already created the bottom of that barrel, and he's going right through it to China. He's going all the way down to China to find enough room to suck that hard. Grimlock Destroys 85 with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Grimlock Destroys 85 says, been watching episodes of the A-Team to see some fun action, manliness, and Jeeps drive up ramps behind bushes as explosions happen. Congrats on 5 years, Doomcock. Thank you, Grimlock Destroys 85. 5 years tomorrow. 5 years on YouTube tomorrow. It's amazing. Moose Snuckle with been a channel member for 27 months now. Dixon Sider's cousin Moo Snuckle says, sad fact, tomorrow starts my 21st anniversary since my last relationship. Fun fact, ice cubes drown in their own blood. If you can't make it to the expo in December, I'll get Harriet a plushie wang so she won't be left out. Well, thank you, Moose Knuckle. I don't know what to say, man. These folks are some of the most amazing folks in the world. Our audiences are just astonishing folks, and you know, the fact that they're so vilified in Hollywood and comics and everywhere else is very. It's beyond unjust. It's foolish, because honestly, we are the best friends that Disney, Marvel, Paramount, Warner Brothers have, because we tell the truth. And we're, you know, I praise things to high heaven when they're good, and I condemn them when they stink. And you know, that is shit that they used to pay money for customer, you know, research and shit. Well, you don't have to fucking research it. Just pull up my channel, pull up Ethan's channel, pull up, you know, a countless number of other great channels out there, Midnight's Edge. And we're telling you the truth, folks. They won't listen. They don't give a shit. Golgo13 with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Golgo13 says, don't forget Eric Bana and Edward Norton Hulk version. These characters need much love and support. Best Hulk versions ever. Mark Ruffalo, Hulk bad. Yeah, Eric Bana actually wasn't bad as
where did he go? Where is Eric Bana?
Ah, God, I don't know, man.
His career ended, didn't it?
Yeah. Weird. Edward Norton. I haven't seen Edward Norton either, oddly enough. Is the Hulk like kind of the George Reeves curse that you play the Hulk and you vanish? I don't know. Tiara Starbrighter with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Tiara. Says, I can't let you drink alone, my lord. So I have poured myself some red wine. To the health of you, your panel, and the chat. Thank you, Tiara. I appreciate that. I pre-gamed heavily. Heavily. Holy shit. Oh, God, I'm so drunk right now. Thank you, Tiara Starbrighter. Super Mastermind with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Super Mastermind. So they put in Doomcock. Dr. Doom? Nah, LOL. Thank you, Super Mastermind. I appreciate that. Radioactive with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Radioactive says, intelligentsia, defined as the class of university-educated people who engage in complex mental labors by which shape politics, policies, and the culture of society. Doomcock, ironically, Marvel's paying you respect. I don't think they mean it that way, but, maybe so. I mean, they certainly have helped me out quite a bit, I mean, kind of reminded people that that I'm here at the center of the earth. And for that, shit. I think it was P.T. Barnum that said there's no such thing as bad publicity. I could be wrong on that, but it's possible. SHS Rebels 08 with a $9.99 super sticker of Super Pair flying through the air. Thank you, SHS Rebels 08. You are awesome. Douchebag Kylo with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you, Odoushi1 says happy 5th YouTube anniversary. Hail to Douchebag Kylo. What a great friend you are, my friend. Thank you. Ranger Jedi with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Ranger. Says, my dad's samples came back cancer-free. They got it. Outstanding, Ranger Jedi. I'm glad that your dad was able to kick cancer's ass. That is absolutely fantastic and a great bit of news to all of us in the community. God bless you, Ranger Jedi. And my best to your dad. That's fantastic news. Infinite Main, been a channel member for 14 months. Thank you, Infinite Main. Says, you're not so vain. I think that show is about you. Thank you, Infinite Main. I'm Carly Simon now, but my tits are not nearly as perky. Thank you, Infinite Main. I wish they were, but they're not. Then I wouldn't live stream. I'd just stand in front of the mirror all day. Jim Kilpatrick with a new channel membership. Thank you, Jim Kilpatrick, and welcome to the channel, my friend. Michael Beacom with a $5 super chat says, Overlord DVD, you should have Harvey sing you a rendition of You're So Vain. I'm really not, though. I mean, I was just minding my own business, shitting all over House of the Dragon, and they came out. I had abandoned She-Hulk. It wasn't even on my radar anymore. I wasn't caring about She. It was like, God, it's not going to get better.
You're attacking their competition. They should have been thanking you.
I know, but no, the lack of gratitude is staggering, Ethan, staggering. Liam John Smith, been a channel member for 3 months, says everyone on the panel, thanks for all the content. You are very welcome, Liam. Thank you, my friend, for that. Gonzalo Bergali gave 5 Overlord DVD memberships to the channel. Thank you so much, my friend. That is awesome. We've got 13 new members tonight, which is amazing. Rodimus Supreme, channel member for 3 months now. Thank you, Rodimus. Says, my 28th birthday is on the 21st. We support you in taking down She-Hulk, DC. Thank you, Rodimus. I'm not trying to take down She-Hulk. And, I don't know what they have in plan for this intelligentsia shit, but I mean, I think if people are up in arms now, if She-Hulk like crushes their heads or something, that's I shudder to think. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe they're through with intelligentsia. I don't know. I'm not watching the show. I don't care. Saint Anger, channel member for 7 months. Thank you, Saint Anger. Says DC laughs and sighs. House of Mouse screams and cries. They do. They seem to have a hard on for me, but I've been very fair to them. I really have. I've been bent over backwards to be fair to them. To the point where even people were thinking I was some kind of Disney shill or some shit, just because I like The Mandalorian. I think Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have done a pretty damn good job with The Mandalorian, all told. But then it's like, oh shit, you just can't win. Whatever. Liam John Smith with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you. Liam says, Doomcock, any thoughts on the Emotion album? What is that? That Carly Rae, what's her name?
Carly Rae Jepsen.
Yeah. She did that Emotion album, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. When you say Emotion album to me, I think of that what was her name that the Bee Gees wrote? It's just emotion that's taken. That song.
Barbara Streisand, wasn't it?
No, it's that. What's her name? Samantha Sang.
Oh,
remember that album Samantha Sang?
Dude, Doomcock, how old are you? You're my age, aren't you?
I'm in
you're
your
into
neighborhood.
The same shit that I am. Listen to you.
Hey, that's when pop culture was great, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Samantha Sang, right? We got a lot in common, Ethan. We really do. And it's a joy having you here. Let's do a few more, then we'll get to shitting on House of the. They're the same, but I honestly, this was a terrible episode, man. Terrible. Nate Houstman with a $5 super chat. Thank you. Nate says, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. Thank you, Nate. Thank you very much, my friend. And Thomas Fenton with a $5 super chat. Thank you. Thomas says, hail Doomcock and panel. At what point can we expect the pro cry bullies, producers of Rings of Power, to cry tisms and phobes in an attempt to fail upwards? They already have. I mean, they've blamed like this bullshit fictional myth of review bombing. When Jesus God almighty, all you have to do is look at the fucking thing to know it sucks. Ethan's the smartest guy here because he hasn't looked at a single episode. But I've had to. It's like a train wreck. You have to drive by slow and kind of look at it. It's fucking awful. But let's without any further ado. It looks like George. George, are you here? Did you step away, brother?
Nope, I'm right here.
Let's go ahead and talk about this fucking awful. So get this. At the end of episode 6 hours into the Rings of Power, where we still don't know a lot of people's names and we don't care about any of them, literally, Galadriel was standing facing down an eruption of a volcano, and the smoke and flames are coming right towards her, and she closes her eyes with resignation, and then we cut.
Right.
Episode 7 opens up. She's fine.
And she's alive.
Covered with some dirt and ash. And and she came through it like a champ, George.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you think of this?
Come on, these writers don't know what the hell they're doing. I expected at least all of those people to be dead, or at least to be naked, to do something different. I mean, their clothes survived. You saw her just standing around, even though you had this 1800-degree ash just burning everything else down. But what I realized is these writers, the only experience that they have writing about relationships, they have none. It's just with the characters that they created. What else do you have to say about it? You have a volcano erupts and everybody just walks away. Some guy I watched a guy, he lost his leg. I'm like, you lost your leg from a fire? It looks like it was cut off. I mean,
yes, they were cut off. They were cut off. But what about that horse that ran through the shot with its back on fire, but Galadriel's hair is perfectly fine? What the?
Right. Yeah, well,
there's pretty good. There's Pompeii they could have used for reference, George.
You're right.
That's how people react mostly to volcanic eruptions.
Yeah, they just stand there and wait. I thought they were going to take the opportunity I thought they were going to take the opportunity actually to show her magic or something. Like she puts up her hand, but they didn't. She just sat there or stood there and waited. And then you had the one that plays the Queen Muriel. She's like, I can't see. Later, I see only gray. And you look at her face, you're like, no scars. But when you actually stop and look at the scene, it's like they have sparks flying to burn her eyes. She comes out like she just came out of the powder room, got some burn marks. I think this episode, not only was it one of the worst, but it's somewhere between like a Greta Thunberg rant and watching like an erectile dysfunction commercial with Lizzo butt naked playing the flute. I mean, I can't think of what else. This was horrible. I mean, what do you say? What do you say?
It was horrible. I mean, it was so bad. And then, we have like all this bullshit. I mean, it honestly, I was kind of like, at this point, I have to do something to distract myself to keep awake. I was kind of looking at a little bit of porn while this was going on my laptop.
What are you gonna do? I mean, you can't face palm yourself. You're gonna knock yourself out watching the show.
Exactly. I mean, it was awful. Douglas, I know you can't stick around very much longer. Douglas, please, you watch this thing. You should go ahead and tell us what you thought about it.
Yes, I did suffer through it. So for God's sake,
you deserve to have your moment in court. Go ahead.
Well, the interesting thing about it, though, in the fallout of Sauron, the cult of Sauron's nuclear weapon that they detonated in the last episode, you had Galadriel finally almost showing humility, after she revealed she was pro-genocide to Adar and all that, all kind of interesting things about her. And yet here she survives with her hair in place and everything. And of course, as I discussed in the chat, it's plot armor. So of course that's the magic spell, is the armor itself. So of course she's fine. Everybody else is maimed and everything. But she almost a moment of humility there where it's like you could I'm surprised they didn't use the line where she says, I can't help but feel that this is somehow all my fault. And it kind of was.
Yeah.
But and then all the really thing that really got to her was the horse with its ass on fire. That oh boy, that really hit home for her, and she was just devastated, And then so she gives her sword to the little kid, and I guess that makes up for it all. And then meets up with the queen who's been blinded, and it says, "We have not yet begun to fight." So there, and then her main captain cries because that's what happens in wars, gentlemen. The women announce the war, they plot it and strategize and fight it, and the men stay home and cry about it.
Wow.
That's how that works. You see. Did you get the message? I hope you did.
They all cried. All the men cried in this episode.
That's right. As it should be. So that's basically what you got there. And that it probably its best episode, Doomcock. Probably it's because you almost get a performance from Galadriel. So yeah, that was nice.
It was soporific. I mean, what happened? Can anyone remind me what happened with the Harfoots? Other than like they, the tall stranger like revivified their fruit, and so they had ample fruit, and then they saw a big footprint and were a little scared, but nothing happened. And
they smoked the stuff that was in their hair, man.
No, you had that you had that M&M group show up, remember?
Feminem.
For one point, they actually stopped being like a Charles Manson family. I mean, think about it. The last 5 episodes, anytime they appear, they're like these murdering little midgets. I mean, they're bloodthirsty. They're like, we all hang out together. We all love each other, except until the moment that, you fall behind or don't do something like that. Then we dump your ass in the middle of nowhere and sing songs about you the next year. It's like, look, old Scrotum, we forgot him. He rolled down the hill and we didn't go back for him, but we'll remember him. I've never seen
poor Scrotum, we knew him not.
Because think about it. I mean, it's like the writers don't know what the hell is going on from one episode to the next. Like when they originally came out, Payne and McKay had stated like, well, we know the hobbits really don't belong here because Tolkien said that they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything of note, so they're not in the Second Age. They're just wandering. So, but they go, what can you do? You have to have hobbits in there, lovable hobbits. I'm like, where the hell are the lovable hobbits from the Shire? These guys, look at it. I mean, they're dirty, they're grimy. You even have the Irish who are pissed off. In the Irish Times, they keep writing, these people are mocking us. So you got this. Yeah. All the males cry, from elves to dwarves to the captain. It's like the women are like, we have balls bigger than you. So you see Hollywood continues that message. They're like, we are going to demoralize your ass. So I thought, this really isn't a series. It's more like a software update. Hollywood's like, we have to make sure Generation Z, boys don't have balls and women have dicks. Do you get it? They're like, we got it. Just keep updating them. Because the second we don't have them in our grasp, they're going to start thinking. And that's the problem. That's what Rings of Power is.
Yeah. You want to see an Irishman cry?
Oh no!
Oh. He's out.
Well,
always after your Lucky Charms.
They managed to regenerate the apples because apples keep an apple a day keeps the orcs away. It just didn't keep away the satanic priestesses that showed up.
But did you know But
I don't know.
Did you see that, Douglas? Oh, sorry, Doomcock.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, George. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, so they have one shot, right? So you see them, those feminims, they come up, they burn everything because you have the little midget. He turns around and he's like, I'm going to beam your head in if you bother him. I was like, dude, you're like 2 feet fucking tall. And you got like some satanic god over here. And you're like, I'm going to beam you. So they're kind of like, burn all the crops down. But when you see the next shot after they all cry, of course, the women don't cry. The guys cried again, even with the Harfoots. The camera turns and you see just 20 feet away from the fire. Everything else is green. I'm like, walk over there. Walk your little hairy feet over there and go pick your food.
Hey, George, I got to tell you, though, man, midget is not the acceptable nomenclature. I believe the proper term is peck. So let's keep up to date on
phrasing. Phrasing. I always thought bloodthirsty midget was appropriate. Okay.
Well, to be fair, also in this episode, one of the ladies stood up and decided they needed to alter their entire culture by saying, "Hey, maybe we should help people out once in a while." To go look for the mysterious stranger who is totally not Gandalf, and you guys are all wrong. This is actually a turning point.
Yes, they're all becoming kind. It's the same way you had Galad diarrhea, where she's like all of a sudden becoming slowly empathetic. And you're like, really? It's like, how did this happen? And then they finally, I remember Screen Rant wrote an article, I think it was today or yesterday. They're like, rings of recycled fantasy. Well, they didn't call it. They're like, finally solved these issues for Galadriel. They're like, now we know what happened to her husband. He died. I'm like, no, where's her kid? See, they're not writing this for Tolkien fans. They're not writing it for regular audience members because the lore that they do use, regular normies, they have no clue what's going on. They're like, what the hell did you just say? And I just really think that I think they thought, okay, we have $750 million. Well, no, 250 they bought the rights. We got another $550 million to spend. You got a couple of amateurs who basically their pitch to Amazon was like, Peter Jackson's first 12 minutes, that's our show. We want to focus on that.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay. And Simon Tolkien having 2 chips on his shoulders, like, I live in my grandfather's shadow. My dad's bigger than me. I've been a lawyer for 20 years. My murder mystery books don't sell for shit. They only sign me up because of the fact that my name is Tolkien. So they brought him on board, and he's like, I have my own thing now. I can destroy my grandfather's legacy and be famous. I mean, I can't think of another reason. You have characters that don't belong. You have no hero's journey, no character arcs. Again, what is it? It's almost like self-masturbatory. It's like 2 or 3 producers said, this is what we want to do. Let's make it. Fuck everybody else.
I know. And Douglas, were you stunned at the end when they revealed that it was Mordor?
Oh, man, I didn't see that coming. In case you weren't paying attention. I laughed, because there's this thing. Gee, I hope our audience is as stupid as we are, and but you got to understand. This isn't like Tolkien, because researching Tolkien is very hard. It's time consuming, and come on.
There's a lot of words and shit.
Exactly.
But what did you think, Donald, of that nice 2D graphic? Like it burned in. Mordor. I'm like, wow, $550 million and you get a 2D graphic.
I still haven't seen the money. I don't see the money in this show.
Where's the money?
That's why I suspect it is a money laundering scheme. I think that the evidence is clear.
It would be like even producing comic books, and then you get a nice glossy cover, and inside it's like a big finger. It'd be like that's what.
Did. Marvel and DC today. That is what that is the platform.
I've never seen anything like it before. It's like just one giant finger.
Yeah,
the big finger named Tempest.
Right.
Yeah.
But you realize how
there's a Tempest inside
me. you realize how bad it is. I saw 3 Amazon vans this week, and they all had a different character on the trucks. Plus, there are boxes everywhere. You know, you drive by, a friend of mine sent me a picture. He got the Amazon box. He had ordered something. I said, stop ordering from them. Get your feet up, go outside, drive a car. But it said Rings of Power. And I wanted to ask you, what do you think? To me, it's a sign of desperation. One article after the other, which says either attacking the fans or talking how great it is. Well, I went and looked at Torrent Freak and Torrent Star. You have House of the Dragon in 2 weeks was downloaded 9 million times by, pirates. And you have Rings of Power was downloaded 600,000 times at its peak, right after episode 1 and 2. Now it's at 150 to 200,000. But you have Nielsen ratings who are saying it's number 1. I'm like,
that's bullshit.
Really? How can it be number 1? Why are y'all continuing to spend this much amount of money? Plus, remember, they have the actors and the production staff who are going on channels doing interviews once a week. There are about 4 or 5 shills that they go on to every week, and they're like, we're willing to interview with you. I'm like, I don't remember Game of Thrones offering Sean Bean and the rest of the cast to go weekly to talk on channels. I mean, to me, it's desperation. And now they confirmed that season 2, which started pre-production, is going to have an entire line of female directors to follow their DEI policy. Not anyone who's, you ask them, have they shot fantasy, science fiction? They're like, no, we're giving new artists a chance. I'm like, more amateurs. Okay. Yeah. I was going to ask Gary what he thought about that. How does someone put in charge of $1 billion production? 5.
Well, these people. 2 guys these showrunners have never done anything before. They're
Star Trek in the dark.
Show running.
Well, yeah, I know. Then. But you think they would have learned like it didn't work season 1? Maybe we should, go back to the old way.
This is not about professionalism. This is not about finding the right person for the job. It's about finding somebody who will follow along with whatever their fucking agenda is. That's what it is, George.
Okay.
We can argue with, why isn't, why don't they find the right person for the job? Well, for their agenda, it is the right person for the job. You know what I mean? They're trying to destroy it. So, that's their whole concept. And from their point of view, they're doing a great job.
Right. But in the end, they still have to make money, even with their agenda that they have in order to say, I know.
Possibly, unless it's already funded.
Right. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, that's the big question. How is this profitable in any way? And it is not.
Right. You saw that analyst.
That means that it has to be, it's already financed and there's another agenda somewhere. That's how I see it.
I agree.
mean, if this is not a formula that works, it's a formula that doesn't work to make money for capitalism, but it succeeds in another path of destroying a beloved franchise that's third to the Bible.
Correct.
So, I mean,
what's number 2?
It's just that's
the
what
Quran.
it is.
Franchise, the Quran.
The Quran
is
right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually Tolkien's Legendarium. Actually, at one point in time, I think it was right after Return of the King, it had just crossed outselling the Bible in most countries. Never the Quran, but the Bible. Because remember,
but you got to understand, George, what they're trying to do is open it up to more people.
Right. But open it up to who? Murderous hobbits.
Yeah. I guess Mars. I don't know.
I mean, it's just the craziest thing. Okay, it's like, let's deconstruct the hero so we can demoralize a society. So boys and girls don't have anyone to look up to. So there's no morality. So there's no right and wrong. So therefore, you can do whatever the hell you want. But that destroys a society. That doesn't lift one up. You divide people by that. And even though they think that can work, as you look through history, eventually there's a backlash. God, I don't want to be these guys when the pendulum swings. They've never read history.
No, they have not. Mexican Iron Man, it looks like you unmuted yourself. You have something to say here?
Oh no, I was just testing my mic. I mean, I was gonna make a comment though. I was gonna try to say that if money making was important, then they wouldn't have done to my beloved DC characters what they've done over in DC. I mean, good Lord, the quality.
Which ones?
I mean, all of them. I mean, Ethan can talk about it better than me, but I mean,
Superman, Batman. Fuck, I mean, all of them. It's
got them all.
It's a wasteland, dude. It's a wasteland.
They're all gay.
And I got to tell you, I take a little bit of pride when Ethan, or on the shows when he launches campaigns with other independent creators. I love seeing the thousands and tens of thousands of dollars rack up in Comicsgate when I know that they're not selling crap for the books of this garbage that they're putting out over at DC. I love it. To me, as a fan, I take it as a personal win because since I'm not getting what I love or what I want, I'll get it somewhere else. And that's what
well, these people can't have all the power, Mexican Iron Man. That's the point. I don't know, it's not so much about the books that are coming out through Comicsgate. I think the point is that these people who are making these changes have 100% of the power without Comicsgate, without the independent comics of the internet, without our movement. They get to say what comics come out. They get to say what happens. They get to say who works, who doesn't work. They get to make all the decisions. So 100% of the comic books are funneled through, these SJWs. So, Comicsgate just makes it so that they don't have all the power anymore. Anybody can make a comic book. We make that happen. That's important. Very important, the messaging. By the way, I wanted to ask Gary, Amazon Prime is putting on Rings of Power. That's their show. They've spent $1 billion on it. What was their plan here to increase their subscription base? Because that's how they're that's how they make a profit here. Have they increased their subscription base because of this show? Because people are talking about it. Are people watching it?
I don't have any idea if it actually increased their subscription base. It's very hard to tell what their actual goal is. It would appear that if your goal is not to make a show for profit, then what the fuck are you doing? But their goal apparently isn't to make a show for profit because look at the result. It's really, really bad. There's people in charge of this that should not be.
Well, they're disgracing Lord of the Rings, right?
Yes.
For this, I mean,
so it's got to be. It's either an absolutely monumental oversight, which how can Amazon make an oversight that big unless it's on purpose?
But if
it is about ego. We keep
Correct.
trying to judge these people based upon how we look at things. Ethan, like making money. George, like how's this right in business? These people, it's Amazon. Bezos. He wants to be like, it's an ego project. It's an ego project with a lot of money. It's no different than if you have kill your ego. I agree. It's
right.
It's an ego project. It's no different than if you have a very successful business and you want to promote stuff in a local town, except this is his pet project and it's an ego project. And, they want people that they can control versus quality. They don't give a shit about more subscriptions. They don't give a I'll tell you where we are going to get them. Where we are going to get them is that article that got released about whether or not Amazon's spending its money right. The only way things that these idiots listen to, and again, I've been, Uncle Ethan, you may not know this, but I've been practicing a tax accountant. I've run an audit firm for like 18 years now, my own firm. And the way to get these guys is their stock price. So until Hollywood makes enough mistakes that Wall Street says, hey, there's something wrong with how this company's spending money, then the stock starts getting suppressed. And that's how we crack Disney. That's how we crack Marvel as part of Disney. That's how we crack Amazon, is that it has to be that the shareholders who have the money, and it has to be the shareholders that aren't these diversity, equity, inclusion morons, ESG moron money. It has to be stockholders and investors have to do this.
Well, to answer Ethan's question, when they had said in their Business Insider article, because they had 3 different ones where they spoke to two executives at Amazon in July and August, what they expected the outcome is, one, they wanted to plant their flag and compete as an elite studio with Hollywood. They wanted, obviously, to rack up awards. But when it came to the financials, they said if they did not have at least a 20% increase in Prime subscriptions, meaning new members, and they count new members as this 2 ways: people who've never signed up before or people who renew. Mm-hmm. And the other metric they counted is how many people who have not watched Prime in 30 days turn it on for Rings. That was their metric. But then they increased the price of subscription in the US $20 to $25, I think it was. And in Europe, they did it $45 per year. And people started dropping. That's what the one Amazon analyst was talking about a couple of weeks ago. And then you had another one who stated that he fell asleep 4 episodes in. And it's his job to watch it. And he was like, I was bored to death. It's like, keep going back. Doomcock did a video on it. I did a video. It's like, when you have people like it, see, there's no natural zeitgeist. It's not Game of Thrones where every office you go into, you're hearing people say, oh man, did you see Rings of Power? What happened? You hear about House of the Dragon, politics, family, and stuff. I found out of 7 offices in the last week and a half, 2 people out of 60 who were talking about it in the break room. One, because their kid was watching. The other was like, yeah, I've heard about it. That's why they keep pumping the money into it.
Well, have you investigated the producers, the writers? Have you looked at what their personal agendas are? What else have they done outside of Rings of Power?
That's a great question. Okay, so J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay have been working in Hollywood. They don't have any credits to their name, and that was one thing they said that had motivated them to go into television, because of the fact that they had been working for 10 years on films, primarily with J.J. Abrams. They helped, they said, punch up Star Trek Into Darkness and 2 other projects which are unnamed. And so they said, we're going to shift into television. Now, they did an article interview 2 years before Rings of Power, and they were Mormons. They wanted to bring their Mormonism into television and find a way to interweave it. And they had talked about if they could ever get their dream job, which is Tolkien. They said the Mormon community considers Tolkien, his Legendarium, to be almost a secondary book to the Mormon Bible. And if you actually look, because I found this out a week ago, so I started researching and looking at the show, there actually are clues that they brought some of their Mormonism into this.
Like what?
Well, like the night shifts. If you look at the design of the shirts in the first 2 episodes that the elves are wearing, they're identical to some of the designs that you can find in them that are described in the Mormon Bible. They're small things. They're also part of
Can you show them? Can you pull them up?
Yeah, I have a picture of them. Yep.
But the thing is, I know, Douglas, you got to go, man. I don't want to keep holding you. Is there anything you'd like to go ahead and plug on your channel or anything?
Yeah, the usual thing. You can, the podcast is the Mr. Nelson Show over at radiomisfits.com or wherever you get your podcasts. The channel is the Nelson Ratings here on YouTube and other video platforms. And, well, speaking of comic books, you can get my comic books based on my audio plays on the Nelson Show over at indieplanet.com, where you can get copies of Night Knight and Sun King, soon to be joined by other stories based on my audio plays in comic book form. Oh, yeah.
Outstanding. And I see that Gary is holding up one of them.
There it is. Thank you, Gary.
There we go.
There's Night Knight. Yeah.
Outstanding. Thank you.
All right. Always a treat, a special treat, sharing a show with the great Ethan Van Sciver. Of course, I have the Cyberfrog comics and all that, and I've watched your story unfold amazingly, and just it really tells the whole story of the era that we've been living in for the past, 15 years, I suppose. And it's quite the soap opera, but it's more entertaining than the entertainment we get, despite it being very, very serious. So keep up the great work, Ethan. Always a joy watching your live streams and all that. So a real treat getting to share a panel with you tonight.
My pleasure, Douglas. Really. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Doomcock, once again, congratulations on 5 years. So,
thank you, my friend.
That'll be great. And I'm off to work, unfortunately.
Take care, Douglas. We'll miss you, man. We wish you could stay.
Bye, Doug. We love you, man.
Bye, Doug.
Gary. Good
Take
night.
care.
Hey, Doug.
God bless you, brother.
Okay. All right. Good night, all.
Bye-bye. And I know that Gary didn't watch Rings of Power. Rancor Steve didn't watch. Tom didn't watch. Andy, did you watch it?
No, I did see the Cheeto scene, though. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, where she was covered with ash. She looked like.
I mean, like if you stand up to a freaking volcano erupting, I mean, that's like, Pierce Brosnan couldn't even do that in Dante's Peak. So, yeah,
you'll die.
Well, for me, what I learned most about this is that I could literally start a rabbit chicken farm or a tortilla plantation right next to a volcano in this Lord of the Crap, and nothing will happen to me. I will survive. It'll be amazing.
It goes back to my initial supposition that her horse was Tempest because she went to see if Tempest was okay. because the Tempest was inside her.
I have a very simple bitching comment. That we're 7 hours in. I could have already rewatched Lord of the Rings extended cut, pretty much. Okay.
Yeah.
Why
And
would you want entertainment?
Hold on. There's two things that I haven't gotten from the fucking show that I've been watching for 7 episodes now. Number one, I haven't gotten any rings and I haven't seen any freaking power. So if I'm gonna watch a show called Rings of Power, I think that in the first, second, or third episode, look. If I buy a Comicscape book and it's called Rings of Power, I'm quite sure in the first few pages, I'm going to get some power and some rings. I know that if I watch a show, it should say Rings of Power, that I should see some rings and see some power. Instead, I see the Hartfoot people, which I'm sick of watching these they're obviously making fun of Irish people, but I don't know why they have cauliflower, alfalfa, and freaking weed growing out of their hair. Why?
You can smoke it.
You're right. It would be hops if they were Irish.
You know what? I look at this show and the way they show people and everything. It is so bad. It makes me want to take a shower. Like when I'm done watching this, I'm like, God, I need to take a shower. I feel disgusting. I feel like, I don't even feel that. I wouldn't even feel that way when I was 12 years old and I was hiding the Playboys underneath the bed. I didn't feel that way. I was just like, oh, okay. This is part of my intellectual development and biological curiosity. I'll just read it, put it in the pillow, and go back and do additional research later. With this stuff, there's no additional rewatchability. When am I, Doomcock? When am I going to get some rings? When am I going to get some power? When am I going to get some rings with some power?
Well, wait a minute.
But you're forgetting. Yeah, he's forgetting Doomcock, the fact that they said that season 1 was supposed to be a prologue to the 5 seasons.
Oh my God, big mistake.
Here's the biggest problem with this. Okay, they put this thing out that like you can expect nudity in this thing, and I have yet to see any woman in this thing that I would like to see nude.
No, none. But what we did see, this was bizarre, and I'll ask anybody that saw this. Do you remember the scene where the 3 witches or whatever they are like tracking down the stranger,
right?
And it's at nighttime, and they're by this tree, and for some reason they are perfectly fucking rim lit. Like to an absurd degree, like they are just standing out from the background. There is no source of light that would cover them, uniformly on all sides.
J.J. Abrams. That's the J.J. Abrams school.
And I just thought, my God, this looks so phony. I mean, they spent $1 billion on this shit, and it just looks phony as fuck. And I have no explanation. George, you know that scene. What did you think? Didn't you like cringe when you saw that?
Of course I did. It's especially like I said, they show up there. I guess they're playing Maiar of some kind, and they're tracking him down. But it's again, their casting is all over the place. The people that they've gotten. What's odd is the 2 characters that I thought who would do the worst. Well, when I'm not talking about plot, I'm talking about acting now. Actually, have done the best. The Black Dwarf and
right, Princess Disa.
Right. I keep forgetting her name. But no, that scene where they were lit, I was like, this J.J. Abrams. Because remember, they studied under him, and they were up against the Russo brothers for this part. And they just released that 2 weeks ago because they were saying, they did that Hollywood Reporter article, and they're like, who were they up against? How many pitches did they have to do? And they had to do multiple. And they're like, we were going up against the Russo brothers. But Simon Tolkien didn't like the Russo brothers' pitch. They liked J.D. Paynes and Patrick McKay. So they said they went with them and said, we didn't know what was going to happen. So we called J.J. Abrams. And we said, hey, can you put in a good word for us over at Amazon? And supposedly that's what sealed the deal, was what Abrams told him.
Oh my God. Jar Jar Abrams is the cinematic Antichrist.
He is. But he plays like musical chairs. It seems he comes in when a series or something is taking off.
Yeah.
He gets in there, he destroys it, but leaves right before it collapses.
Right. Like a cloud of locusts.
Yeah. Exactly.
George, you had this thing pulled up. You wanted to.
Yeah, because Ethan was asking. So I was like, you see here, Ethan?
Magic underwear.
Yeah, in season 1. In season 1, episode 1.
Yes, with the CGI doves flying around.
Now I can show you. I'll stop that, and you can see where they pulled it from. Let me stop.
Sure. Yeah.
So, okay, so you stop that. Here's the other one. So here is an example of a modern one, but they used, where is it there? So here's just, there you go. You can see that one on sale at Amazon.
Yeah.
That's the frills. But there's more of that. That's what I've been doing this week, is pulling all their threads throughout the series, because they had mentioned how they wanted to push this. They seem to have forgotten the fact, these Tolkien experts, that Tolkien was a Catholic pre-Vatican II. He was strident, and he did that also to honor his mother, because he lost his mother at about the age of 12. And he created Galadriel almost in the image of the Virgin Mary. I mean, that's how he viewed her. That's why this is the complete antithesis to that. You have strong female warrior, big sword, beat people, and the men who are like little girls. Oh, please save me.
But that's not Mormonism. I mean, Mormonism doesn't promote that. Mormonism says women get back to the kitchen. You understand that, right?
Right.
Except there is a section, what I've discovered in the LDS, that have started to branch out. And I think that's what these guys are a part of. That's why I said I'm putting it all together. I can share it with you if you'd like.
So Patrick McKay, is Patrick McKay Mormon?
Patrick McKay and J.D. Payne are both Mormon.
They both are. So Patrick McKay is from the lineage of David O. McKay, who was the prophet president of the church in the 1960s.
Oh, I didn't know
the
that.
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So that's interesting. I grew up in the church.
Oh, okay.
Really? Okay, interesting.
So I'm like, this is news to me. You said they're Mormons, and I'm like, there are Mormons in Hollywood. What the hell is this?
Yeah.
And I'm doing all this research on these guys and trying to figure out what in the world is going on.
Well, besides Trey Parker.
Yeah, I grew up with Tolkien that way too. My parents, were totally into Tolkien, and they, we had the books all around the house.
Well, that's good. At least they were honest then, because they said it was very ingrained in the church.
Yeah, I don't know if it is. I think that it's clean.
Okay. Well, here, let me share you their article.
So they're allowed to read it.
When I was researching them, this was the first article that I came across. It was from 2016. That's where they talked about their religion. Hold on, because they went on. They knew each other. They knew each other since high school. And then they went on mission together. And then I started reading, because I didn't know much about the Mormon religion before that. So I started reading, and I was like, what's a mission? And so they went to Rome, and then they spent 2 or 3 years there, and then they went to Hollywood together.
I don't think the Mormon angle really figures into it so much as the bad robot angle.
I believe that.
These guys are bad robot alumni, and they destroy every fucking thing that they touch.
The idea that like Mormonism is permitted in Hollywood.
Oh, that's what
Mormonism is widely seen as a white supremacist religion.
Oh my God!
Really?
I never heard that.
Yeah, I never heard that either.
I heard it a lot. Yes.
Oh wow.
It's fairly right wing. I grew up in the church. I disavowed this idea that it's white, but I'm saying that's how people perceive it.
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah, I never heard that.
I've never heard that. Yeah, I never heard that. No, I think this is.
I don't doubt you. I'm just saying. I didn't penetrate.
Look it up on Twitter. You'll see all about it. Yeah, I didn't realize that as a kid. But there are certain aspects of it. It's like black people were not allowed to hold the priesthood, which is something that all men at the age of 14 become. Get the privilege of owning until like 1977. Like they were like 20 years past the civil rights movement, but like if you were black, you weren't allowed to like pass the sacrament to people, bless the sacrament, give priesthood blessings or anything like that. Very strange. And I do remember going to church, and when I was a teenager, listening to these sermons where they'd have guys up there at the pulpit who were just like, women, how dare you seek fulfillment outside of marriage and the home and your family? Don't you understand that this is a sacred covenant from God to you? There is nothing out there in the man's world for you. You need to stay home and take care of your families and be good wives. So the idea that these guys are writing characters like Galadriel as I'm seeing her is bizarre. Okay. It's anti-Mormon, if anything. It would be. So I'm George, thank you. Now I'm going to investigate this goddamn show.
Well, you should.
It's a horrible show, though. Don't watch it, Ethan. Don't watch it.
No.
Really, it's dreadful. It's dreadful and pointless.
Yeah.
But Doomcock is right. I think the primary influence is J.J. Abrams. I mean,
what is he? What is his faith? Why is he working with Mormons?
I have no idea.
I don't get it.
I think I'm not sure. I really don't.
Work with anyone that's willing to destroy, our culture for food. That's basically what it is. We'll do anything. It doesn't matter. I think we should wrap up the Lord of the Rings discussion unless anyone has any final thoughts on it.
I'm just beginning, Doomcock. I'm just beginning, my friend. I'm about to unleash hell. Not here, not on this show. I gotta watch the show now.
You gotta research it a little bit.
Yeah, I thought it was soy. Now I'm like, what is this? It is Mormons kind of behaving in an un-Mormon way in Hollywood and being welcomed in. I'm fascinated. I've got to see this.
It's not soy. It's really soy flavored cardboard.
Wow.
It almost feels like
it's not even soy.
Expensive fast food, Doomcock. What do you think? Like a fast food cinema?
Very, very expensive cardboard. It's shredded.
I have fast food. I have fast food here. And She-Hulk, if you're watching, I have fries.
There you go. All right. I tell you what, let's do a few more super chats here, and then we'll briefly do a little bit of Andor. There's not a whole lot to say, and then we'll go on to Creepshow. Sound good? Don Lewis with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Don. Says that shot She-Hulk took at you was childish, petty, inept, clumsy, infantile, pitiful, infantile, and laughable. Thank you, Don Lewis. I could not agree more, my friend. And it's woe unto them. They should not have done that. They did not have the effect that they wanted, I don't think. Bunny Mom Ambrosia. Gary's wife has joined the channel membership. Thank you, Bunny Mom Ambrosia. Welcome. And thank you for all the work you do with those poor rabbits that you're saving and rehabilitating and finding homes for. Awesome charity, folks. Thank you, Bunny Mom Ambrosia. Solid Gamer 1998 is a new channel member as well at the Dominion level. Thank you, Solid Gamer 1998. And welcome to the club. Nick C with a very generous $20 super chat. Thank you, Nick C. Says wokeness infiltrated the TTRPGs 10 years ago, and I've been fighting it ever since. D&D has become 100% woke, and it sucks. There is a counter movement, the OSR, Old School Renaissance. Would love to talk about it on the show. Well, shoot me an email at dictorvandoomcock@gmail.com or DM me at Twitter, at Doomcock on Twitter, and we'll see if we can't do that. But yeah, my solution to the whole Dungeons and Dragons has gone woke. Stop buying new Dungeons and Dragons shit. Go buy the old rules. I've got the old books right on my shelf where I used to play Dungeons and Dragons all the time. So, that system works perfectly well. They want to go ahead and wokeify it and orc lives matter and all that shit. Fuck them. Just don't buy their new shit. Problem solved. Fuck them. Hey, they don't want to be in business anymore. You don't have to renew your fucking rules and shit. They're revisions. Perfectly great system. Blow them off. Fermented Cinema, who's been a channel member for 7 months now. Thank you, Fermented One. Says congrats on 5 years and hail Doomcock. Hail to you, Fermented Cinema. Thank you, my friend. Clint Lormond with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Clint. Says the first I ever heard of Doomcock was on Collider Live, RIP. Christian Harloff and company were talking about some rumor that he had started. I just remember them laughing at the name Doomcock, LOL. Oh, laugh, will they? Why, there will be a reckoning someday. I can assure you of that. They won't be laughing anymore, to quote that old song, The Walls Came Down. Michael Beacom is a new channel member. Thank you, Michael Beacom. Marcelo Lopez also has joined the channel membership. Thank you, Marcelo. Thank you again, both of you guys, for renewing. Very much appreciated. Susan Dolan with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Susan. Says, my Lord Doomcock, should they reference you again in the season finale, watch your subscribers go further up like Tug's numbers shot up. Shit versus Depp. Turd versus Depp, excuse me. Yeah, man, Tug kicked ass. He really did. He's a great guy, and he deserves all of his success. I'm really proud of him. He's been on the show before, and he's a good friend, and God bless him, man. Now, I know that they're kind of going after him or trying to get him canceled or some shit. But he has risen above. He is still kicking. And I think he's also suing them over something. I think that they called Child Protective Services on him or something falsely. Some assholes did. And he's going after those motherfuckers. So more power to him. That's bullshit. Echoes of the Ancients with a Black Cat super sticker. Thank you, Echoes of the Ancients. Troy Neenan with a $20 Australian super chat. Thank you, Troy. Says the lesson is this: the only real crime for those of superlative intellect and great prowess is to allow oneself to become shackled by mediocrity. The crime is to let your grasp be less than your reach, to aim low. Well said. Yes, and I think that aiming low and playing it safe and staying in your lane is a staple of this woke shit. I mean, really, honestly, Ethan was talking about it earlier, and I think a very good analogy is at the end of the remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where Veronica Cartwright goes up to Donald Sutherland at the end and says, hey, you made it too. And his mouth drops open and he starts shrieking in this weird alien voice and pointing at her as all the like pod people point. That's basically woke people turning on their own when they swim against the tide, as you were saying, Ethan.
Yep.
Thank you, Troy. Thank you very much. Solid Gamer 1998 with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Solid Gamer. Says the game rec for the night is Metal Gear Solid 3. 10 out of 10 game. I've heard great things about Metal Gear. I've never played it, but that's definitely one for the list. Thank you, Solid Gamer. One Duncan Talks with a $20 super chat. Thank you, One Duncan Talks. Says, good evening, my legion all. So rings of power. Elves can take a pyroclastic flow to the face at 1,120 degrees and dust themselves off instead of being vaporized. Then everyone is covered in Cheeto dust. 1 billion for this? Yep. Some have said it's a money laundering scheme. I couldn't possibly comment. You might think that. In fact, you might well think that, but I couldn't possibly comment. Echoes of the ancients with a $10 super sticker of Bushiba offering a heart. Thank you, Echoey One. Very, very much appreciated, my dear. Thank you. And Tycho TMA1 with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Tycho. Says Patrick Stewart is 10 years younger than William Shatner, yet he's somehow much less coherent. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I can't argue with that. Patrick Stewart, his stuff, I can't even look at him anymore.
Patrick Stewart hangs out with Ian McKellen all the time, and Shatner still gets laid. So, do the math.
Damn.
Shatner, man, yeah. He is the intergalactic stud that he played. I'll tell you that. Xenobit with a $5 super chat. Thank you. Xenobit says they won't use deepfake over de-aging because then the CGI crew can't justify their need.
Yeah.
It costs 20,000 guys, I swear. Is that true, Tom?
I'm sure that's part of it.
I think it sounds about right, Xenobit. I think you're spot on that. The Geronimo Jack with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Geronimo. Says, I believe Doomcock has a huge army of minions. He did not want anyone to know until it was too late. Unfortunately, a few minions jumped the gun. LOL. It's true. I have lots of people who send me tips from Hollywood and stuff. And it's generally people that are on sets that are disgruntled over what they see. That's how I got that big scoop with Indiana Jones 5, is because this guy was very, very dismayed at what they were doing to Indiana Jones. And he wrote me. And then of course, more tips came in following that. And as a result, they had to delay a year and do a bunch of reshoots because everybody was saying, holy crap, that is just the worst fucking thing they could possibly do to Indy. So I'm glad I was able to sound the alarm on that one. Fermented Cinema with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Fermented Cinema. Says, who do you think could run a better butcher shop? Kathleen Kennedy or Alex Kurtzman? Wow. Oh my God. My instincts are Alex Kurtzman, but the thing is that, his chopped up recycled shit is inedible. So I'd have to say Kathleen Kennedy, at least, you get food poisoning, but you can, choke it down. But Kurtzman.
Yeah, but imagine the success of their collaboration. Boy.
Okay,
I still think Kathleen Kennedy was in private a porn fluffer before she ever got into Hollywood.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I know she made coffee. I know she was like a secretary and stuff. But
she entertained those guys.
Yeah, I can't stand Kennedy. Ugh.
Me either. It's terrible.
It's destroyed.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Let's go ahead.
All I know is it was awfully funny. That Kathleen Kennedy was deathly afraid of Steven Spielberg finding out that her and Frank Marshall were together. I don't know why she would be afraid of that.
I have
Just do the math.
What?
I have.
Yeah, that's weird.
What?
making out with more than one person in Hollywood in the same time era.
She's got to know where a lot of bodies are buried, though, if you know what I mean. Bodies of young
I mean,
children.
Frank eventually became her husband, but
right. But I mean, she knows all this stuff about Spielberg, you know.
Yeah.
But how long can that protect her? How long can that protect her? I mean, the way I know, but the way Disney Plus is going, Miss Marvel, now She-Hulk, I mean, yeah, Loki. I mean, how long can that actually shield you?
Not long.
I really don't know. She's like a vampire, you know.
Boba Fett, Jesus, she destroyed Boba Fett.
Oh, she sabotaged that shit out of that, man. She really did.
How were the Hutts though? Were they cool?
The Hutts,
the Hutt,
yeah, Boba Fett.
No, man, they were not. They were not cool at all. It was a shit show. It was a really slapdash, unfocused, just kind of Cuisinart of suck. You know, they just threw a bunch of shit in there, mixed it up, dumped it out.
Two episodes of The Mandalorian, in fact, in the middle of it. Those
were good episodes. That was the only good part, right, Tom? They were good.
I mean, I watched a few of the clips, but I'm like, that's how bad your show is when you literally have to drop in episodes. That would be like if Family Matters all of a sudden was 2 episodes of Perfect Strangers in the middle of the season.
Yeah,
that's a deep cut,
absolutely.
Kids.
It's a very good one, though. Jack White with a $5 super chat. Thank you. Jack says, "Hail my lord. I just sent you an email with a link to a YouTube video that I would like you and the panel to react to." I'd have to screen it beforehand, Jack. You know, there's all sorts of shit on YouTube that you can't just throw shit up there and, you know.
No, we kind of decided we don't really do that.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it, Jack. Maybe we can do it next week, but thank you, brother. SHS Rebels 08 with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Says, panel, did you see the new Broadway musical knockoff of Hamilton called 1776? It only has women and non-binary characters as founding fathers.
1776 is actually already a musical. They're doing a gender bent version of it, you're saying.
Right, with only women and non-binary characters.
Okay, whoever sent that super chat, if you knowing Mexican Iron Man, come on. The odds of me seeing that are anti-matter 0.
Yeah, I'm still alive, aren't I? My head didn't fucking explode, right? So I mean, I haven't seen it, but thank you, SHS Rebels 08. That's fucking awful. I didn't even want to see Hamilton. I've never seen Hamilton. I don't want to see that shit.
I haven't seen it.
No, fuck no. Xenobit with a $5 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Says, what will happen when the Japanese wasps in Washington make their way down to California where the African honeybees are? Their fight will be legendary.
Vespas.
Different kind of wasp.
What's gonna happen? Yeah, the Vespas are coming.
Oh, the fucking Vespas. All right, let's go ahead and just who on the panel? Let's just cut to the chase. Who watched Andor?
Andor what?
You know, yeah, exactly.
I watched it.
It's surely.
I've been watching it.
So you watched it, Andy? Did you watch it?
Porn and or what?
just Andor.
No, I'm not caught up.
Holy shit! So it's just you and me, Mexican Iron Man?
Jesus.
No, I saw it.
Oh, George saw it. Good.
Oh, George. Okay,
George, you go first.
I'll just give my feedback. For me, it actually was not all that bad. It was the first thing that I've watched on Disney Plus in a long time where I didn't actually look at my watch and wonder how much more time there was on the fucking show. I mean, you know, it actually ended and I was surprised. I was like, oh shit. So it actually held my attention for a change. What happened on it? Well, not much. I mean, they were having interpersonal kind of conversations, tension as they were getting ready to launch this assault on that, Imperial base. But it was, of a pace with old style dramas and stuff. Like I said, old war movies, old spy movies where, you have a build up to things. But it does feel like they're actually building up to something. It does feel like these are actual characters, and there's nothing so fucking stupid it made me want to throw up my own testicles, which is rare. So Mexican Iron Man, what do you think about it?
Well, it looks great. I think I'm mostly interested in continuing to watch it for two reasons. Well, number one is it's the best looking show they've put out so far, without a doubt. I mean, do you agree, Doomcock?
Yeah, it really is. It looks real.
I think the costuming is great. We don't have the same problems that we have with Lord of the Rings. I think the sets look great. I think the depth and the scope looks great. I think the special effects look great. I really like all the actors.
Skarsgård.
I'm not Skarsgård. It's just I liked him. I think I've liked him in everything he's ever played.
He could read the phone book.
Yeah, dude. Like he is. I have seen him in so many different roles over the years. I don't care. As soon as he showed up at what was it, Thor or something? I mean, whenever he shows up, I'm in. And but it's not just him. Oddly enough, the one character I kind of am annoyed by is the Mexican guy, is Andor. Yeah, it is. Listen, and this is a Mexican talking. I just in Star Wars, I don't need to see myself or any of my cousins that don't speak English. Oh, is that Mexican Iron Man?
Okay. No, that's Andor, isn't it?
Oh, that's Mexican Andor. I don't need to see myself, my people, or hear the accent that I grew up with in Star Wars. It is just, it is distracting. It is like, okay, George and Ethan Van Sciver. Where is the force in the lightsaber? We must fight the Empire, okay? We have to fight the Empire because we don't know. And so, he's the guy I like the least. Maybe it's also because I know what happens to him. I also think that he's not, I've seen him play other things, and this is not his best. This is not his best. It's kind of like, I'll bet when he got the phone call, like, hey, guess what? Hello? Hey, the phone is ringing, man. Ring. Hello? Yes, this is Lucasfilm. We're trying to do diversity, and we have great news. Okay, we found a black chick, and she's going to be in the Kenobi series, and she's going to be the focus and the bestest ever. And we've kind of done the LGBTQ thing, but guess what? What, man? Well, guess what? We're now going to go for the Latinx. Okay, man. What is Latinx? Hey, don't worry about it. You'll learn when you get to Hollywood. But hey, we heard that you're available, and you know Star Wars. Yeah, man. I did that thing the other day when you guys blow me up. I'm on the beach. The thing comes, it go kaboom, and then me and the smoking hot chick, we on the beach. We don't have picnic. Instead, we go boom. Yeah, okay. We're gonna bring you back, man. How you bring me back? I'm already dead. No, we're gonna bring you back, but we're gonna go back earlier than that. Oh, I get to be time traveler? No, just show up. Okay, so the guy shows up. They hand him a script.
But they took me to Martha's Vineyard.
Exactly.
Vineyard.
He shows up, and I'll bet he's surprised. He looks like he's. When I'm watching the show, it looks like he's as shocked as anybody that he's fucking there.
He does, but he's a great actor. I mean, he was on Narcos Mexico.
I've seen Narcos Mexico twice. He's unbelievable. But anyway,
Diego's great, but great
actor.
So overall, I'm going to give this out of 5 stars. So far, I'm in at about a good solid 3.5.
Yeah,
that's fair. George, what'd you think of it?
I agree with him. First of all, Skarsgård drew me in.
He's
Diego
great.
Luna, I enjoyed Diego Luna. The episode 1 was slow, but I was like, I liked the way it looked. I liked some of the dialogue. I was like, okay. And then by episode 2, I was sold on it. I know I'm going to get shit for this because I've torn apart Disney Plus, especially with what they've did to Boba Fett. But no, I enjoyed it. And Obi-Wan they destroyed, but I don't know what it is about it. It's just something about it. It felt real,
right?
For lack of a better term. Like it felt Star Wars. It didn't feel popcorn. It just didn't feel Disney-fied. It felt a little bit more real. So I enjoyed it. I love the cinematography in it. Again, Skarsgård, Mon Mothma. I always forget the actress who plays her, but I think she did a fantastic job. And the way that they have that, what is that Imperial security? The female who put out, the actress who put out that interview, who she said she's doing. Yeah, but I even liked the way she did. I mean, everyone clicked together really well. I enjoyed it.
It is it's an interesting show. I really am kind of getting into it. I mean, but let me just say this: it's not Star Wars. Okay, it's not. There is no fun. There haven't had only The Mandalorian has even gotten close to capturing any sense of fun from Star Wars, and this thing is not lighthearted. It's not fun. It's not exciting and colorful. It's more of like a
homage.
It's like a sophisticated drama more than anything else, but it doesn't have a lot of adventure excitement. I mean, it was interesting when the TIE fighter came like tearing down the canyon, the valley, just on patrol, and it did fill you with a sense of awe and foreboding that generally TIE fighters don't impart. I mean, it's Gilroy is writing it. He did Rogue One, and
but you know what I mean? I'm not saying it has that Lucas Star Wars feel, but like for Disney Plus, it felt outside of The Mandalorian like something that came to a more, I don't know, realistic Star Wars for the television screen compared to Obi-Wan and Boba. It's like 3 Days of the Condor. I almost feel like it's 3 Days of the Condor.
Yeah, exactly. It's more of a like political thriller, spy kind of Cold War spy thing than an adventure or Star Wars. So I mean, I don't have a lot to say about it, but I just wanted to go ahead and kind of touch base on it. I hated Book of Boba Fett. I despised Obi-Wan Kenobi. That last episode just had me ranting, just pacing and ranting into a microphone, and that's the review. I was fucking awful. But this is a different thing, man. This is, I don't know.
There's something about it. It's not great. It's not bad, but it's to me solid. It's like something that I will watch it. I'll watch it every week.
Yeah, me too. Until it jumps the fucking shark, which it definitely can do. But
because I read Gilroy stated that this is supposed to be, unless I'm getting it wrong, so correct me. It's 5 years before Rogue One, so it's supposed to be
something like that. Yeah,
it's like this season is supposed to be 2 years before, and then each season there's a time jump, and it's like 1 year or something. It keeps going.
Absolutely. So anyway, that's basically all there is to say about Andor. It was the first time in a long time I watched anything on Disney Plus and didn't actually check my watch. And I was surprised when it actually ended, as opposed to longing for it to end. So, I mean, that speaks for itself. Gary, I understand. I mean, we're going to have our movie of the week. Should I go ahead and run the intro here, or?
Sure. Yeah. Well, Creepshow is the movie of the week, movies we love. And through our research and our the work that we've done over the last week, we've actually uncovered a unseen sixth segment from Creepshow. There were 5 segments in the original film, and we have a sixth unseen segment, and we're going to air it live tonight for the very first time on Pop Culture Breakdown. So I think that
does Mike have it?
I think our Mexican Iron Man has everything all queued up.
Oh, is that what you meant by setting it up?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant you were gonna hit the video. All right, hold on, here it comes.
Sorry.
George has to run. Say bye to George, everybody.
George, listen, thanks, brother. Plug your channel real quick.
Okay, y'all can all find me at George the Giant Slayer on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. And I will see y'all, hopefully, I will see y'all next Sunday. Great to meet you, Ethan. Everybody else, I will catch y'all later.
Bye, George.
Take care, George.
Take care, man.
Brother. Hey, George. Only one episode to go. We'll make it.
We'll make it.
We'll make it.
Bye, brother. Bye.
All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at this this amazing
I can see why this would be a little redundant, but yeah.
Stevie.
Oh yeah. Hi. I've been thinking, and I'm gonna give you a choice. You can stay here,
or you can watch Rings of Power.
Ooh, twist.
Yes.
Excellent
nice.
job, guys.
Nicely
Excellent.
done. Nicely
For
done.
the very first time, the 6th segment of Creepshow.
Creepshow, ladies and gentlemen. Creepshow. So our movie, a retro movie that we love of the week is Creepshow. This is
Based on the EC Comics, no less.
EC Comics. And actually, Ethan, it's interesting that you're here.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Do you like those EC Comics?
Yeah, of course.
God,
Love
they
them.
were great, weren't they? God almighty, they were fantastic.
Yeah.
Back when comics were good, before those bastards, Wortham, like, Seduction of the Innocent, got Congress to.
Doomcock, I have a whole rant that just to bother SJWs about why Wortham was right, and maybe he did some good stuff, and it drives them fucking crazy. If it wasn't for Wortham, Mad Magazine wouldn't exist. You know that? I mean,
oh yeah, absolutely.
He forced EC Comics to switch their publishing schedule. Created Mad Magazine, so he did do some good stuff. But yes, those horror comics were outstanding. Love them.
Amazing. I never get tired of reading them. Creepshow, released in May 16th, 1982. And it was released widely in November. And it's got more stars than you can shake a stick at, including Hal Holbrook, Adrienne Barbeau, both of her, Leslie Nielsen, Ed Harris, and Ted Danson. George Romero directed it. It had a screenplay by Stephen King. And George Romero is a great, great filmmaker. Night of the Living Dead, the original, remains one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yes.
Budget of $8 million, box office 21.
That with me? You should watch that with me on my show. We should do an EFAP of that.
Oh, that would be great, man. Sure. Yeah, let's set it up.
Night of the Living Dead's classic. Yeah.
I love that.
Technically,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah, I just absolutely unabashedly love that film. I think it's
technically the public domain part.
Well, we got away with it. We did watch it before all the way through. No copyright.
It is public domain for sure. So I mean, you could definitely do that. But here we have, the opening. Have a bumper segment where he's yelling at his son. How dare you read this crap? He throws it out. Meanwhile, there's the kind of crypt keeper kind of character. And then we have comic segments. We have I think 5 different segments in this, and they're all fucking brilliant. Other than the only one that kind of sucks is the one that Stephen King himself is in with the meteor that grows shit. I don't like that one, but the rest of them are fucking brilliant. So much fun. Honestly, I think this is the best Stephen King adaptation. And actually, it's not an adaptation since he wrote it straight for the screen. Maybe that's why it doesn't, it's head and shoulders above most of the Stephen King movies. Possibly the exception would be The Shining. Gary, what can you share with us about Creepshow?
I got a few things here. Not a whole lot, but because I mean, this movie is just it's so great and it's so much fun. It's been one of my favorites since I was a really young kid. And I was exposed to this movie, I think probably I was about 7 or 8 years old. And I loved it. My older sister and I used to watch it all the time. This to me is Romero's finest hour. I know that Night of the Living Dead is great, and the impact that it had on cinema history and culture is powerful. But this movie to me is just top notch. George Romero. Based on EC Comics, Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, and The Haunt of Fear, those kind of things, which were fantastic comics. God, I love those. I have digital copies of them. I am not able to have physical copies of them, but at least I have read them digitally. One of the things I love about this movie is they really worked hard to achieve kind of a cinematic version of comic book shots, where every kill scene kind of has these blue and red lights that kind of just light up the scene. this love of the old library music, which they got from the old Capitol Production Library. And some of the music today was used in things like Ren and Stimpy and various movies in the 1950s and 60s. But really, it gave kind of an interesting, weird, strange kind of offbeat flavor or sound, I should say, to the film, and gave it a really creepy kind of vibe, which I think it works great. I love the use of the stock music. I think it's fantastic. And it kind of throws it back to the old EC comics anyway, It puts it in that genre. The cast is amazing. Stellar cast. Cast was absolutely fantastic. Let's see. I already went over that. Tom Savini's awesome effects. Tom Savini was a fantastic, or he still is. He's not. He's still with us.
Yeah.
He is a fantastic special effects artist and guru. George Romero kind of used him for pretty much everything he did when he went kind of mainstream. And really, the gore effects in this movie they're fucking incredible. They're absolutely just amazing. Let's see. This movie spawned a sequel, a third and unmentionable film, and an unofficial sequel, and a new revived series on Shudder. I didn't know this, but apparently there is a Creepshow television series on Shudder. And I watched the first couple episodes of it. It was pretty good, and they even brought Adrienne Barbeau back to the show. There's also a really great Blu-ray that was released in 2007 called Just Desserts: The Making of Creepshow, which is an entire Blu-ray just dedicated to the making of this film. And that was really neat to watch. If you're a fan of this movie and you're into movie making and stuff like that, I highly recommend checking out Just Desserts. It is a real treat in the behind the scenes footage of this film. I got this.
There you go.
Nice. Which is pretty sweet. It's got all of the original comic book pages in it, which I thought was pretty cool. There's not a whole lot of them, because they only made the ones that,
Right.
Oh yeah, I love that. The Mystic coupon,
awesome.
right?
Voodoo doll. Oh, look, we can't get that. But it's got all of the the actual pages of the book, which was pretty cool. So they've got the back cover on it, and then I got this one too, which is at the end of the movie.
Nice.
Which is kind of neat. And then this has the sequel comic book pieces or pages to it, which is kind of neat.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I never saw the sequel. I never.
You've never
saw
seen the sequel? Well, EBS is right. It is very good, but just like in comparison to the original, it's just not as good. But I mean, it's got some really good stories in it, though.
I have this too, little reproduction of the ashtray.
It's because of you now. I've seen it in every scene now, Gary. Before you told me about that being in every scene, I never noticed it until you told me. Yeah,
it's a traveling prop, and it's actually
or not every scene, but every story. Sorry,
it's every story, and it's obviously the MacGuffin in the first one, but you can see this prop in every single one of the other segments, which I thought was kind of neat.
Why do you have one? Where did you get it?
Well,
did you make it? Or
I got it.
You're a collector, aren't you?
You want one?
Wow.
Shoot me an email.
Yeah, I need an ashtray. I need one.
Sounds good.
Gary's bringing up those ads. You see the clip out voodoo doll ad. I want to do a shout out for a book, if you don't mind. It's called Mail Order Mysteries.
I've got that, man.
That's a cool book.
Nice. I love that. I love that book.
I mean, how many people read comic books in the all through before the modern times? They got rid of these cheap ads. But wanted to mail away for things, and I think everybody's dad has a story. My dad mailed away for the nuclear submarine, the life-size nuclear submarine.
Yes,
that was crushing.
Isn't there actually a documentary about this too? I don't know if it's associated with the book or not, but
I hope so. I would like to get it. But
I swear I've seen it.
It goes through like every single ad that's ever been in a comic book, and like what you would actually get if you had mailed away for the thing. This book is so much fun. This book was definitely made for us. So check it out. You can still get a copy.
I actually love those masks. Those masks actually were a good deal, man. I mean, I wish I'd have sent away for it.
Superman Kryptonite rock here.
Call a coincidence. But like those ads came out for the X-ray specs, and the week later, this girl Lisa jumped in the pool with her strapless bikini, and yeah, maybe it's a coincidence, but it worked.
It worked.
Yeah, those X-ray specs. Every kid wanted those.
Oh yeah.
You know, I didn't have the guts to mail away for those, but
glow in the dark skull ring.
Amazing.
Oh,
amazing stuff. This is the best. Life-size monsters, and then you get them and they're just like posters.
Yes. Yes.
Wait a second. 7 foot tall for $1. That sounds great. They're just posters.
It's just posters.
Nice.
In 2 pieces that you have to tape together, you know.
Oh, here's the submarine. Here's the nuclear.
Yeah, the submarine.
It's made of cardboard.
Yeah, but for me, honestly, I wish I had that.
You know how much that's worth now, though, if you have one of those?
Oh, I can't even imagine, but my God, how much do you think that would be worth?
Couple hundred easy, if not more.
Yeah.
Look it up on
couple
eBay.
hundred. I'd pay for that in a heartbeat. I mean,
say thousands maybe at this point.
Polaris nuclear sub. Look it up on eBay and see if anybody has it still in the package. But look, it was $7 in the 1960s.
That's a lot.
Like, that's a lot of money for a little kid.
Yeah.
You know, so we
Back then, that was the only way to get the rare Mego figures, where you had to like clip out the coupon and mail it in, and get some of the rare Mego superhero figures.
Yeah,
man,
nice
little dolls. Here's 100 little dolls for $1, and they're flat. They're just flat pieces of plastic.
They're very little dolls. Very little.
You can call them dolls, I suppose. Yeah, they're comic book flats. They have a whole army here, and they're just I guess. I mean, you might be able to play with those. I don't know. So anyway, this is a fun book, man. I love this whole era of comics.
Strong man.
Atlas.
The insult that made a man out of Mac.
Yes.
That is absolutely a great book.
That's amazing.
Man, I've loved that book. I've gone through that book, and it answers our questions that all of us comic readers had for, we grew up burning to know. Like the ghost, the remote controlled ghost was a balloon with a sheet over it on a string.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can control him.
Yeah.
Every week, my dad would take me to the Braun auction. I would go down and pick up like a stack of comic books and go through all those little things and mail away for some of the. I did get some cool Mego action figures from that. I'd have to like beg and plead for a check to send off with the for the action figure.
It's yeah, man.
Migos were still great, man.
They were. I've still got a few Migos like from back then, but it's
How many Migos do you have? Do you have any Migos?
Oh yeah.
What do you got?
I got the Batman one, the Robin one. I got a couple of Spider-Man ones. I've got the Planet of the Apes ones with Zaius,
nice,
Cornelius, and Zira.
They made
Trek Migos. You got those?
Yeah. I've got Captain Kirk and Spock. Yeah,
those are cool.
I just picked up the newer ones of those actually.
Yeah, they're pretty close. They're not bad. So anyway, Creepshow, man. Great movie, and something you guys should check out if you haven't watched it out there in the audience, because it is fantastic. I've got to go ahead and get to some super chats here. Ethan, do you want to stick around, or you want to head on out, my friend?
Oh yeah, I guess I can go now. I really enjoyed the show. Thank you so much for letting me visit with you. Appreciate it. And all of you gentlemen, Tom, it's great to see you again.
Yeah.
Mexican Iron Man, great to see you again. And the rest of you fellows, Andy Masterson, I think I'm just meeting you face to face for the first time. Gary and Steve, very talented fellows. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Ethan, you really want to look at Gary's shelf in the background. He's got quite an extensive collection.
You collect like Hollywood props?
No, he was
there. I have a whole bunch of originals.
He has sent me some neat stuff. Like he sent me a piece of the Bates Motel.
Yeah, he runs a prop company.
Yeah.
Ethan, he was there.
We can go into that later.
Well, I'd like to hear about it. I'm the #1 Psycho fan. I have an extensive collection of Psycho Norman Bates memorabilia.
Do you have a piece of the house?
You know what? I went to the house and a piece broke off. They let me off to walk around, and I looked at it, and it like the nail was still in it, and I reverently placed it back where it was supposed to be, and I could have pocketed it.
Oh,
and I still think about that. I
Just send me your address. I'll take care of you.
That's delightful. Doomcock, can I promote Cyberfrog? Will you let me share?
Please go ahead. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much. Everybody in the chat, I have a comic book called Cyberfrog. The sequel is called Cyberfrog 2 Wrecked Planet. We are at the printer. We're going to have these books very, very soon. I think maybe even this week we might have them. So I'm looking forward to it. You can still back it here. You can back Cyberfrog 2 Wrecked Planet, Salamandroid Death Sting, and Heartsick Horror. Those are the 3 books that are coming with this set. And then also we've got our action figure line, Electric Blue Cyberfrog variant action figures on Indiegogo. If you would help support the creation of these toys, I'm making zero money on the action. I'm making boatloads on the comics. I'm making zero money on the action figures. I just want them to exist. I showed them earlier. They're beautiful quality. We can compete with Hasbro, with McFarlane Toys. We can basically make all of our dreams into 3-dimensional action figures. We can make them real, but we have to do it together. And I need your support. So if you wouldn't mind pre-ordering a Cyberfrog toy, Heather Swain, a Vespis, or all of them, that would really go a long way towards helping row the boat, as it were, the Comicsgate boat. And I hope you guys, if you're not Comicsgate, investigate it, join us. And thank you, Doomcock, honestly, forever. Thank you for this.
You're very welcome, man. It's really great to hear from you, and thanks for popping in. And we'll be in touch, man. We'll do something together. Sounds
all right,
fun,
brother. Bye, guys.
Good night, Ethan. Hail to Ethan Van Sciver. All right.
And I'm actually going to take that time, the time now to step out myself. But thank you as always for having me. And yeah, happy anniversary. Hopefully, I'll get a chance to hop in and celebrate it with you. And just get me the link or whatever, or get it through Mikey, and we'll work it out and have. Hopefully, we can get Andre over there too.
That would be a lot of fun, man. I will work on that.
Thank you, guys.
It was a lot of fun, brother. Thank
Later,
you.
Tom. We love you, man.
Take care.
Take care.
All right, Tom. All right. Here we are, folks. I believe we are at the end of our show for tonight. I want to thank my panel of pop culture pundits, and all of you guys made it a great show. Let's go around the table and let everybody plug themselves or whatever cause they would like. Mexican Iron Man, please plug away, my friend.
In 2 weeks, I will be in Dallas, Texas for Retropalooza and ValhallaCon. Valhalla is morning show, Loki's Mornings of Mischief. We hit 2,000 subscribers about a week and a half ago, and we're going to be meeting up at Retropalooza. So if you are anywhere near Dallas, we are hosting a Friday night meetup, which is free, a Saturday night Wrathacon movie night, which is free, and Sunday we will be going out to the Texas Range in Greater Dallas and doing a little pew-pew action, all hosted by Mexican Iron Man on Sunday. So go to my Twitter. If you want to do a meetup, that's a lot of fun. That doesn't require any cost, really. See you in Dallas in 2 weeks.
Sounds great. Hail to Mexican Iron Man.
Go to Twitter. Go to my Twitter. That's where it's at.
Go to his Twitter. He will set it up for you. Gary Ambrosia, anything you would like to plug?
Well, I just want to say thanks for joining us tonight, guys. As you know, I will continue to tell you this, even though I know you know it so well. I love you all very much, and I'm so glad that you chose this Sunday to join us on this crazy show. If you would please check out my lovely wife. Check her out. Yeah. Check out my lovely wife's bunny rescue at thebunnytrailrescue.com. And if you would, what do we have here? Breaking news. Hold on, stand by.
Oh dear.
This?
Looks like a hidden sex
Andy.
tape of something from Andy Masterson there.
I think there's a reason why She-Hulk targeted Doomcock. You know, if you just texted her the next day.
I was negligent.
Way to go.
I was negligent, and that's
you
terrible.
Fucking hit it and quit it.
I'm so sorry.
You're such a stud. Right on.
Anyway,
not
Gary,
alone.
please, the Bunny Trail.
Anyway, if you would check out the bunnytrailrescue.com, give it a look, and if you are so inclined, maybe throw her $1 or $2 because the little critters got to eat. Other than that, check out all of our wonderful panel members' various YouTube channels because they're a great community and a great bunch of guys. I love y'all. I'm not tired of saying that. I will never stop saying it. And take care. We will see you next time.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you very much. Let's see. Rancor Steve, anything you'd like to plug, my friend?
Yeah, I'll be starting up a show next month. Haven't picked out a day yet, but it'll be about toxic masculinity. Hence the shirt. because you can.
Oh dear.
So I'll be starting that up on the show on my YouTube channel, Rancor Steve. Just type that in there, and you can find me on Twitter, YouTube, Rumble, anywhere. If you find me out on the streets, yeah, anywhere. I don't know. So, yeah.
Thank you, Rancor Steve, and that was a great clip. Did they actually bury you in the sand for that?
Yeah, I buried his ass.
Yeah,
all day long.
Oh my God, that was incredible, guys. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Andy Masterson, anything you want to plug?
I've got my channel, The Laboratory of Mayhem, where I do all things like action figure-y and stuff like that. I just did a review of the Werewolf by Night, actually something from Marvel that I actually liked. I don't have the much faith in it that it will continue to be good if they bring it back, because like they make one thing I like and it's only a one shot, and they make all these series that are crap. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, Laboratory of Mayhem, make action figures, tutorials, things like that, and news. And as always, join us next week for Pop Culture Breakdown Live, where we will feature all kinds of Doomcocky goodness.
Doomcocky goodness. I like that. All right, you guys. Also, one other super chat came in. Actually, two. No, one. We are all Devo with a $10 super sticker of a pair bowing and saying thank you so much. We are all Devo. We're very grateful to you, Devo. Thank you so much for that. It's very kind of you. And so, yeah, I will probably be doing a live stream tomorrow to celebrate the actual day of my my 5-year anniversary. So hope you guys can join us for that. And from the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock and my panel of pop culture pundits bidding you all, my friends, stay angry. Good night, everyone. Have a good time. Have a good week.
Bye-bye.